The Katy Tigers are one of the most storied high school programs in the state of Texas. The fans arrive early for game day. It's Katy and Cinco Ranch in a District 18 5A showdown. First place on the line, a packed house on the way at Rhodes Stadium. It's Katy and Cinco Ranch. It's live on FSN in our Dodge High School Game of the Week. Oh, the fans have arrived early here at Rhodes Stadium. The Katy Tigers faithful trying to cheer on their program, hopefully continue an unbeaten regular season. Here are the numbers. Cinco Ranch and Katy, 7-0. Katy Tigers, 4-3. Cinco Ranch Cougars. What a matchup on our Dodge High School Game of the Week, live on FSN Southwest here this afternoon in Katy, Texas. Let's take a look at the Nike standings, and here they are. The Katy Tigers on top, number 1 in the state of Texas in Class 5A. Perfect 7-0 mark. South Lake Carroll, 7-1. They're number 2. The other Houston area ball club, Galena Park North Shore, checking in at number 4 in the state. The Mustangs of North Shore at 8-0. Hi, everybody. I'm Randy McElvoy alongside Shay Walker. So glad to have you with us today here in Katy. What a glorious day for football. Not a cloud in the sky, Shay. This is what high school football is all about on a Saturday morning.
Well, absolutely, Randy. You talk about it. It's got that big game feel to it. You know, they've got these guys on television, and so far we've had a lot of excitement. You talk about the kids before the game. They're all fired up.
Let's talk about the Katy Tigers, and when you look at Katy, you talk about their offense. And the man they give the football to quite a bit in that backfield. They rely on Andre Dean, the senior running back. What a career he's had so far at Katy.
Well, he only rushed for over 200,000 yards last season. This season, you look at the numbers, they're still mind-boggling, and keeping in mind that he's missed about a game and a half due to those injuries, but he is just a power running back. He runs with power, likes to come right downhill at you, but he's also got enough speed when he bounces it out to the outside. You can take a look here against Hastings. Young man just has some great room, and the blocking up front for Katy is always stellar.
Andre Dean, a verbal commitment. He'll play his college football at UCLA starting next fall, but right now Katy fans want a strong finish from him here in his senior year. All right, the Cinco Ranch Cougars, 4-3 on the season, 3-1 in district play. They've had some injury problems, Shay, especially at quarterback, but Don Clayton, the head coach of Cinco Ranch, likes the young man running the show right now.
Well, he does, and he's got a young man, a sophomore, running this offense, and that's a big step for young Zach Myers to take, but he has so far done a good job of coming in and filling in for the injured Shane Ross, and we'll learn more about that later in the broadcast. But he's also got 2 excellent running backs, Jeff Oliver and Adam Hertz. They're in that backfield for Cinco Ranch, so what they used to do in the air last year, they're doing on the ground now.
Not a lot of room for error today for Cinco Ranch. They know that coming in against the Katy Tigers. Should be a classic today. First place on the line in District 18 5A, Katy and Cinco Ranch. When we come back, we'll check in with a third member of our group, Patty Smith. Cinco Ranch and Katy on FSN today.
Welcome back to Rhodes Stadium for the Dodge High School Game of the Week, the Katy Tigers and the Cinco Ranch Cougars. I am down on the field joined by head coach Don Clayton of Cinco Ranch. And Don, we've been talking all morning about these Katy Tigers, number 1 team in the state. You were telling me early what you were telling these kids. Tell us what you were telling your kids how to approach this game today.
Well, we feel like we have to play the 11 that are out on the field and not the reputation or the state ranking. They've definitely earned that at Katy High School, and they're an outstanding football team and without a doubt one of the best in the state, if not the best in the state. So we feel like we've got to play our game, and that is to control the football and play good hard-nosed defense and not get caught up in the fact that they're very experienced and they're very successful.
They are very experienced. You are a young team. What do you see as your biggest challenge today?
Well, I think composure. I think we've got kids that need to understand that when we make a mistake, we need to be able to overcome it. We can't be caught up in trying to think about or thinking about something that's already happened. We got to move on to the next play and do the best we can there.
All right, Coach, good luck today. There's about nothing left to do now but play the game, and we will do just that after this break. Randy McElvoy and Shay Walker will be back with the kickoff. Stay with us.
There's a moment at night when all you want is fourth meal. Melty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled.
They came from every corner of the country. small towns and big cities, but they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm going to have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Beating us on the boards out there, guys. This is your territory, Grimson. Do your job.
Grimson.
Hello?
Hi, honey. What? Now? All right. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too, sweetheart.
Hey, it's my girl.
You know, my daughter.
Love. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
No matter how you cut it, you can't script October. Destiny calls baseball's best to the game's biggest stage. The Rockies ride one of the greatest runs in sports history into their first World Series. But the star-studded Red Sox are ready to bring another title home to Boston. Rockies. Red Sox. The World Series, this week, only on Fox.
All right, welcome back to Rhodes Stadium in Katy, Texas. Randy McElvoy, Shea Walker, Patty Smith with you. Our Dodge High School game of the week, Cinco Ranch coming on out, followed by the Katy Tigers. And we are getting close to opening kickoff on a beautiful day for football at Rhodes Stadium. Got a cloud in the sky, temperatures, Shea, probably in the low 70s right now. This is ideal conditions.
Absolutely. It is a perfect day for football. Bluebird day, no clouds. Fantastic. And you look out there, Shane Ross, young man who was a starting quarterback coming into this season for Cinco Ranch, got injured in the first game, ended up having surgery here just a couple of days ago, Randy.
Yep.
And look at that. He's out there representing his team as a captain.
Showing his support right there. Ross with a torn ACL. Tried to come back, limited duty after that week 1 injury. But they realized it was best to have that surgery and get that problem fixed. Good news is Shane Ross, only a junior. He'll begin that rehab, and Don Clayton, Cinco Ranch head coach, expects to have him back ready to go next fall. Here are the conditions for the ball game today. I was wrong. That's why I'm not a weather guy. 64 degrees right now. That'll climb as the afternoon gets going. Light wind, east-northeast, about 7 miles per hour. And yes, it is a great day for football. This is how you draw it up when you talk about fall in the greater Houston area. Perfect conditions today. Here are the Katy Tigers. Again, trying to extend their unbeaten streak this year. They're 7-0 coming in, Shea. Looking to go 8-0. Number 1 in the state right now. They're used to playing well into November, into December football. Right now, they feel like they've got a little bit more football to go in this season.
Absolutely, and you know, Randy, this is one of those teams. It's the Katy Tigers, and they have expectations. Not only does the team, but the community, the coaching staff. You just talk to people in this area, in the greater Houston area, and they'll always rank Katy right there at the top of the standings for any of the high school sports. But certainly they're very proud of the football program, and deservedly so.
Really amazing. You and I were here at the stadium early today. These fans, they were lined up outside the gates just to get in before they unlocked them. Some tailgating going on the Katy side, plenty of red. On the Cinco Ranch side, lots of maroon. And this stadium is filling up nicely. It should be a packed house. We've even got fans in the grass part of the end zone. You see the head coaches, Gary Joseph for Katy High School. Don Clayton in charge, season number 9 at Cinco Ranch. He started the program here at Cinco Ranch.
Well, he did, and he actually he was the offensive coordinator of these Katy Tigers before assuming the head job at Cinco Ranch High School. So certainly two guys, Coach Joseph and Coach Clayton, that are familiar with each other, coached on the same staff, and here they've got another opportunity now to go against each other.
We're ready to kick this thing off here at Rhodes Stadium in Katy, Texas. Cinco Ranch will kick it off. Back to receive for Katy. They'll take it there, field it at the 22-yard line. And that's where the Tiger offense will get started. Brad Graham fielding that kickoff. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by State Farm. And we will start with the Katy Tiger offense. Bo Levi Mitchell leads the charge of well over 1,000 yards already, just over 1,000. And his offensive line, Travis, Lawrence, Ball, Ferris, and Bryan opening some holes. What they hope will be holes for that man, number 30, Andre Dean. And you've got a pretty good receiving core of A.B. Rowe and Staten as well. Lots of weapons on this Katy Tiger offense. Trent Hunter starts there in the backfield. Levi Mitchell hands to Hunter. Over on that right side, crossing the 25-yard line, close to the 30 before he's brought down by Andy Thomas of Cinco Ranch. Take a look at the State Farm starting lineups on the defensive side for Cinco Ranch. Williams, Joffrey, Bonner, 3 of those 4 guys on that D line. You've got the linebacking core of Thomas, McAdeer, and Ratcliffe as well. Pretty good defense. Secondary, Leland Norris, Sermon, and Peroya leading the charge for Cinco Ranch on the defensive side. 2nd and 4 now coming up for the Tigers. There's Buda in motion. Levi takes the handoff, rolls out, looking for his receiver. That'll be Marcus Staten. Overthrows him right there. Flag down, though. We'll see what the contact is on. Could be some defensive interference here, Finn.
Well, the play-action pass is something that these Katy Tigers do extremely well, and one of the things that we were talking to the Cinco Ranch coaching staff was making sure you stay at home on the play-action pass, and it looked like Trent Peoria did a fantastic job right there. Minimal contact at best, but unfortunately for Cinco Ranch, he's going to get the flag.
Take a look at the replay here. Here's Bo Levi Mitchell letting it fly. Had a little bit of separation. Peoria, some contact right there on the big fella, the tight end for Katy, Markham Staten, 6'1", 220. Already an early break for Katy. Moving on down here. Again, this is a day where Don Clayton will tell you we can't make a lot of mistakes, and you don't want that on this first drive of the ball game. You get behind by Katy early, they like to bury teams. Cinco Ranch trying to avoid that today. 1st and 10 now, they'll mark it at the 44-yard line. Andre Dean checking in. Tailback for Katy. 2 receivers set for the Tigers. Crockett Thompson also back there as fullback for Katy. 1st and 10 for the 44-yard line. Opening drive of this football game. Handoff goes to Dean. Nice yardage right there before he runs into Will Morris, the free safety for Cinco Ranch. And Shay, when you got a big guy like Andre Dean coming at you, you better tackle well.
Well, you better, and Will Morris doing an outstanding job. Only 6'1", 174 pounds, but coming out of that free safety position, had the play diagnosed, read perfectly. Andre Dean looked like there was a big opening there at the line of scrimmage, but how about Will Morris coming up? Making the tackle. Look at some keys of the game here. Dean for a day. Andre Dean, let's ride the horse. Just under 1,000 yards rushing. And then on defensively, bring the heat on the young sophomore quarterback.
2nd and 4 now for that 6-yard pickup by Dean. He gets a few more crossing the 50-yard line. Andy Thomas in there on the stop for Cinco Ranch. Along with a little help from John Joffrey as well. Brings up 3rd and short for Katy. Katy's a ball club, especially on offense, Shay. They peck away at you. And then they'll strike for that big play. They've got so many weapons on this offensive side. Thompson and Dean In the eye behind Bo Levi Mitchell. Again, they give it to Dean. Trying to fight his way to the 47-yard line. Trying to pick up that first down. Runs into John Joffrey and Greg Freeman as well. Just enough, looks like, for the first down here, Chip.
Yep, he's going to get the first down by a nose, but you got to give some credit to the Cinco Ranch defense. They're not backing down, and you see the power running game. Actually, we're going to get a measurement here, Randy. Maybe closer than half the football, but from our vantage point, it certainly looks like he might have it just by the nose. But
yeah.
Go back to the Cinco Ranch defense. These guys are playing tough in the middle. And you're talking about a power run game by Katy. That was just where they're going to line theirs up against yours and come downhill at you with the power set in the backfield. Cinco Ranch defense doing a nice job of coming up and making it tough sledding for Andre Dean.
And you are right, by about a half a football. The drive will live on for Katy. Just enough push there from Andre Dean on that last carry to keep this drive going. Gary Joseph, head football coach at Katy. 4th year as head coach. Of course, he's been on the staff for many, many years. Served under former head coach Mike Johnston. Got just a stellar run here at Katy. Shotgun there, Bo Levi Mitchell. 4 wide out set. There's Levi getting a little pressure. Dumps it off. That's Andre Dean. Tackle made by Greg Freeman around the 42-yard line of Cinco Ranch. So different look there for Katy. 1 back set, 4 wideouts.
Yeah, it's something that they normally don't do, but you take a look here up front. You see a good push getting through the line of scrimmage and kind of forcing Bo Levi Mitchell to roll back out to his right and locate. That's John Joffrey coming in and applying that pressure from the front defensive end position.
With the carry. Nice squeeze right there. Fights his way down close to the 35-yard line. Again, Greg Freeman with the stop. Cinco Ranch, he's had a busy opening drive so far for the Cougars.
Well, that is one of the things that you look at on this Katy run-oriented, run-dominant team, Randy, is that it didn't look like there was much there at the point of attack, but the linemen, you take a look, they stay on their blocks. And Andre Dean, he just kind of knifes his way down, and you see that he's always moving downhill as he's running the football, picking up another first down.
Louis Zavala down the backfield for Katy. Fullback in front of Andre Dean. Levi Mitchell. Bo Levi Mitchell with the fake to Andre. Tries to find Zavala. In and out of his hands, incomplete. Brings up second down now.
And Louis Zavala is an interesting story for this Katy team. He has been out with a broken leg since game 3. This is his first game back, and he's one of those guys that Coach Joseph was telling us about, Randy, in the week, is that, hey, he's a real physical guy, and you see him coming off the field right there, shaking his hands down and looking like he might have tweaked that leg again, but they really need him as they continue to go through this season if they're going to make a run at the state championship, because he's a big, bullish, lead-blocking fullback, and Andre Dean really runs better when you've got that guy in front.
All right, second down and 10 now. They'll mark it at the 36-yard line. Shotgun, Bo Levi Mitchell. Over across the middle. Stop made by Trent Peroya. And that was Brian Rowe on the reception for Katy.
Brian Rowe dropped the football. Take a look at the tackle. That's coming up one-on-one in space. If Peroya doesn't make this tackle, Randy, that could go the distance, and Peroya comes in and strips the football. Fortunately for Katy, they're able to get back on top of the football.
Joey Fuda in there, jump all over that one, keep this drive going, keep it in possession of Katy. 3rd and 2 now coming up, 33-yard line is where they'll mark it. Good play coming up for this Cougar defense. You got Mitchell, Thompson, and Dean in that backfield. The handoff will go to Dean. Big hole right there, and Andre Dean will take it home. 27-yard touchdown run by Andre Dean. First drive of this ball game, and Katy is on the scoreboard.
Well, even though Andre Dean did not start the game, we saw Trent Hunter in the backfield starting off for Katy, but a very textbook methodical drive by the Katy Tigers, taking the opening kickoff, bringing it right down the field, mixing in the play-action pass. Got a little bit of help with the penalty, but Andre Dean doing it with 5 carries and 33 yards and notching the last 27 for the touchdown.
So the kick by Raul Balbuena is good. 7-0 Katy on top. 8-play, 77-yard drive. Katy Tigers taking care of business on their opening series of this game. Katy on top by a touchdown in our Dodge High School Game of the Week. The Dodge High School Game of the Week on FSN is brought to you by Dodge, your Texas truck stop. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Diet Pepsi Max, it's cola invigorated. Wake up, people. And by Memorial Hermann, the official healthcare provider for Katy ISD Athletics. Memorial Hermann, breakthroughs every day. 7-0 Katy. They strike first on their opening drive of this football game, Shea. Here's the touchdown run from Andre Dean.
But take a look. We talk about, stop it right there, guys, if you can. You talk about the outstanding blocking by this Katy offensive front, and you see right there, when you give Andre Dean a seam that big, he's going to take it to the house for a touchdown. It's a great job by the big guys up front. James Lawrence coming in, paving the way for Andre Dean to get into the end zone.
Take a look at the Dodge scoring drive for Gary Joseph's Katy Tigers. 9 plays, 77 yards, 4:32 off the clock. Of course, capped off by Andre Dean's 27-yard touchdown run. Put Tigers up 7-0. So now it'll be Cinco Ranch's turn. Ryan Dorr will kick off for Katy. Back to receive for Cinco Ranch. Number 1, Will Morris. Number 8, TJ Cardone. Cardone will receive, crosses the 10-yard line, but runs into a whole herd of Tigers there at the 15-yard line, led by Blake Reed. Andrew Harrell also in on the stop for Katy. Let's take a look at the State Farm starting lineup for Cinco Ranch. Offensively, we talk about Zach Myers, the sophomore, running the offense for the Cougars. There's his offensive line. Ramsey, Glover, Stewart, Schraub, and Connor Key, that right tackle. Adam Hertz, Jeff Oliver, Cardone, Mack, and Kuba. Running back, wide receivers, and tight end. 1st and 10 now, Cinco Ranch. They'll start this drive on the 17-yard line. Jeff Oliver with the carry. Big hole that right side. Crossing the 50, down to the 40-yard line. Terrence Henry of Katy finally hauls him down, but not before a 43-yard pickup for Jeff Oliver to start this Cinco Ranch opening drive.
But what a great opening play for Cinco Ranch. You know that they need it. They got the young quarterback, but take a look at Jeff Oliver as he comes through. He runs right through an arm tackle, and I like the way, Raina, that you see him shift the ball right there. He goes from his inside arm to his outside arm, and he protects that football on the sideline side. What a nice job of coming out on 1st down, picking up a huge gain for Cinco Ranch.
Jeff Oliver, one of their go-to guys, over 500 yards so far this season. 4 touchdowns. Blake Reed with the stop there for Katy. Adam Hertz with the carry. Let's take a look at the State Farm defense now for the Katy Tigers. Marks, Yakub, Tapong. That defensive line. Here are your linebackers, Graham Atkins, Adler, and Strickler. They're looking for a big day. Secondary, Henry, Hunter, Harrell, and Frederick. Taking care of that secondary for the Katy Tigers. 2nd and 9 coming up. Zach Myers with the completion. It'll be Tyler Halen on the reception there for Cinco Ranch. Terrence Henry, Cameron Strickler there on the stop for Katy. So big 3rd down play coming up for Cinco Ranch after that big opening run from Jeff Oliver to get him deep into Katy territory. And it's Jeff Oliver in the backfield for Cinco. Shotgun coming up for Zach Myers, the young sophomore quarterback of the Cougars. He's going to roll out, feels a little pressure, dumps it out. pass is complete, but he's going to be well short of that first down. Cameron Stickler making the stop on Tyler Mack for Cinco Ranch.
Well, they had the play called, Randy, that they wanted to, trying to get it out to T.J. Cardone. He does a nice job of catching the football. Looked like Terrence Frederick, the defensive back, though, right on top of it, not allowing him to pick up any additional yards, so forcing a fourth down now for Cinco Ranch.
Fourth and 4 now. They'll mark it at the 34. They need to get down to the 30-yard line. Myers in a little pressure, tries to find Tyler Halen again off his hands, and this drive will end as Katy's defense holds.
Well, it was a nice inside push. Blake Adler coming in from that inside linebacker position really forced Zach Myers to bounce it out further to the right than he wanted to go. And as he got closer to the sideline, Randy, he really didn't have a good angle to try to pick up a receiver back on the inside. But the inside pressure from Katy's defense is what forced that play to be thrown out of bounds.
Here's another look. Myers feeling that pressure, and just good coverage there by the Katy secondary on Tyler Halen as well. We're going to take a break from Road Stadium at Katy. 4:53 left in quarter number 1 in this 18-5-8 showdown. Katy on top by 7. Hang on. Dodge High School Game of the Week, Katy and Cinco Ranch. 4:53 left here in the first quarter. Katy with that opening drive. They punch it in on an Andre Dean touchdown. Take a 7-0 lead. Cinco Ranch threatened there on their first drive, but failed on fourth down to convert, so Katy will take over once again on their own 34-yard line. Levi Mitchell fake there to Andre Dean. Got some pressure from Trey Bonner of Cinco Ranch. Got a hand on it.
Well, they tried to go with a play-action pass to start first down after stopping Cinco Ranch short on that fourth down effort. And how about the defensive coverage by Cinco Ranch? Not a single player was out of position. Every one of the defenders were running stride for stride with the receivers. Outstanding job of making sure that you're recognizing the play action.
Flag down on the play.
They're going to say Bo Levi Mitchell may not have been outside the tackle box, and it looks like what they're trying to explain to Coach Joseph right now. Because he clearly threw the football away as it was talking about the coverage was there. Trying not to have a negative play. Didn't quite get out of the tackle box, Randy, before he let go of the football.
Well, they lost it down, so it's now 2nd and 17 coming up for Katy. They push it back to the 27-yard line. Let's take another look.
He sees early, Bo Levi Mitchell sees it early that there's nobody there. Nobody's going to be coming open, so he gets rid of the football.
Here, Joseph doesn't show a lot of emotion on the sideline.
Oh, but he's got it now.
He's got a little bit of that.
Man.
Oh, he's got it.
You know he does.
All right, 2nd and 17 now for Katy. Hand off to Dean, but again, another flag on the play. Officials busy here this first quarter. Officiating crew, Houston chapter. Referee today, Mike Young. Umpire, Steve Wade. Called a false start on Katy. Head linesman today is Curtis Payne. Line judge would be Royce Stanton. Back judge today, David Honerkamp. Again, great crew of the Houston chapter calling today's ball game between Katy and Cinco Ranch. This week, College Football Saturday returns with a triple header, beginning with the College Football Saturday kickoff show presented by Kyocera. And then 12th-ranked USC takes on 5th-ranked Oregon in a key showdown for both teams' national title hopes. And then UCLA battles Washington State. And finally, 21st-ranked Cal takes on 4th-ranked Arizona State in another game with huge BCS implications. It all begins Saturday at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific in high definition right here on FSN. 21-yard pickup. Trey Hunter helps move the chains.
Well, offensive front doing a really nice job for Bo Levi Mitchell, making sure that he's got enough time to locate the third receiver. He checked down once, he checked down twice, and he sees Trent Hunter coming across, clearing, going back to his right. Puts the ball right on the number 4. Hunter does the rest, getting about 16 yards on that catch.
Tigers needed 1 yard for the first down. Andre Dean will get that, a few extra.
Well, and you see Andre Dean, he's pointing out there, Randy. He's pointing ahead. Hey, that's a first down. Yeah, let me tell you.
Just in case you missed it.
Yeah.
The chains are moving here, folks.
Oh, that was a power run right over the top, and that's tough sledding. And you talk about these defenders again for Cinco Ranch. They're getting down and getting their nose bloodied a little bit, but that's the way you want to play against a big, bullish back, and it's making it very hard for Andre Dean to break it open.
Bob Day Leonardis with the stop there for Cinco Ranch, but again, not enough. New set of downs coming up for Katy. 1st and 10. They will mark it at the 46-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. So Levi Mitchell, that's over the middle. And that's Markham Staten with the reception, crossing the 45-yard line. That's where they'll mark it of Cinco Ranch.
Well, Coach Joseph told us earlier in the week, Randy, that Bo Levi Mitchell is kind of in the mold of Andy Dalton. He's one of those guys that are really smart with the football, knows where to place the football. Of course, Andy Dalton having so far a good start to his college career out there at TCU.
That's right. Good job for Gary Patterson. Two-back set there for Katy. Crockett Thompson. Behind him, Andre Dean. Again, the carry goes to Andre Dean. Devin Williams with the tackle for Cinco Ranch. Again, Andre Dean, just a hard man to bring down when he gets loose.
Well, tackle by committee. You mentioned Devin Williams, also Greg Kremen and Will Morris. You got to get all your hats up on number 30 when he gets the football. And you can just see, we talk about that power running game, that punishing running game. And Andre Dean, 200-pound senior, he runs with a lot of leverage.
John Taylor checks in for Katy, fullback, along with Louis Zavala. Zavala's on the line. Got Taylor and Dean to be in the backfield. Timeout called, though. Katy will call a timeout with 2:28 left here in the first quarter. Again, driving up already by a touchdown after that opening drive. They punch it in on a 27-yard TD run from Andre Dean. Katy so far, Shea, you look at their 2007 schedule for Gary Joseph. They opened the season with a 45-0 win over Klein. Wins as well over the Woodlands. A&M Consolidated on the road. A-Leaf Taylor, Katy Taylor, Hastings, and Morton Ranch this past week, 52-12. Their defense already tossed 3 shutouts this year.
Well, and you just talk about the tradition of Katy and the things that they have done over the last many years here. And you look, 4-time state champions, most recently in 2003 when they came up with the big 1-point victory over South Lake Carroll. Actually, that's the last time South Lake Carroll has lost a game to a Texas team.
Yep.
It was in 2003. Katy showing up well there. Again, in 2000 against John Tyler, they win another state championship. And you talk about the state finalists, number of times that they've done that, undefeated seasons. And, oh, by the way, Gary Joseph's record, he's 48-4 at Katy too. So you talk about carrying on the tradition that Mike Johnson started here.
Pretty
doing
solid.
A nice job of that as well.
Yeah, when he got there in that state championship game in 2005, they fell a little bit short. So the Tigers, they want to get back. Dean with the carry right there, runs into a whole herd of Cougars. John Joffrey, Jared Balch, several others making the stop. Andre Dean going nowhere here, Shane.
A little bit of a misdirection play, and Cinco Ranch staying assignment-based in that defensive front. Joffrey doing a good job, and then getting some help out of Jared Balch as well, but coming over the top, making sure that you don't give Andre Dean enough cutback room, because we talk about it. He is a power runner. He's going to prefer to run right downhill, straight at you, and then when he tries to make that cutback, you want to make sure that you've got defenders there.
2nd and 10 now. They'll mark it at the 41-yard line. Pitch goes out to Dean. It's across that first seam down to the 35-yard line of Cinco Ranch. Trent Peroya with the stop for the Cougars. Again, great job of that right side of that Tiger offensive line opening that hole.
You bet, and think about the daunting task it is if you're Trent Froy or any of these other defensive backs. You got Andre Dean running downhill at you, coming one-on-one, and you've got to stick your hat in there and make a play. And Froy doing a fine job right there of coming in and bringing down one of the best runners in the state right now, but bringing him down one-on-one.
Offensive line for Katy. There you see Cameron Travis. They average about 230 pounds on that O-line. 3rd and 4 now. There's Andre Dean again getting loose, crossing the 30, down to the 24-yard line of Cinco Ranch. Will Morris on the stop, but not before the big gain again by Andre Dean.
He's getting some nice blocks by the big guys up front. Eric Ball, the senior, is a returning starter. Headed to Rice to play his college football. Nate Bryan, big number 77, he's a returning all-district player, also a senior, tipping in at 290. Andre Dean quite patient in letting these guys get the blocks, create the seams, and then taking it to the house.
First and 10 now from the 25-yard line. Mitchell over the middle. That's Joey Fuda. Another touchdown for Katy. 25 yards on the strike from Bo Levi Mitchell to Joey Fuda.
We talk about the things that this Katy Tiger offense does so extremely well is they establish the power running game, and then they come right back at you with the play action pass. You've got 7, 8, 9 guys in the box to stop the run. Then you got ISO one-on-one with your receivers. Joey Fuda doing a nice job right there of coming on the inside, breaking clear. And how about Bo Levi Mitchell with the throw? Led him perfectly.
Raul Balbuena then with the kick after, point after for Katy. Makes it a 14-0 ball game. 28 seconds left in this first quarter. Bo Levi Mitchell to Joey Fuda. And the Tigers are off to a great start here at Rhodes Stadium. Again, well-oiled machine, this Katy offense. The offensive line, as I mentioned, the front five there, 290 pounds, 230, 275, 255, 265. A lot of beef up there, opening some holes and moving people around for Andre Dean and company.
Well, when you do that, we talk about it again, just being able to set up the play action, and Katy has just been magical at doing that for many, many, many years. But you talk about, you even go back as far as the 2003 state championship team with a guy like James Ashton, the running back, and how effective he was at setting up that play action pass. And it's just something that this Katy team thrives on. They make sure that they execute it well, and we saw right there again, when you have that much success running the football, Randy, it's going to be a little bit easier when you make a good play action fake for your wide receiver to break open.
Will Morris and TJ Cardone back to receive. For Cinco Ranch, Cardone will let that one go out of bounds at around the 2-yard line. So we'll eventually re-kick. We'll see what happens here. Or they can hold on to the football.
Well, they'll take the scrimmage, line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. This kick went out of bounds.
Cinco Ranch will take it. They'll take that extra yardage and start it. Take a look at that Dodge scoring drive for Katy. 9 plays, 66 yards. Again, another 4:25 off the clock. First drive, very similar. In Bo Levi Mitchell to Joey Fuda on the touchdown reception. Katy in control by 14. They'll mark it at 30-yard line. That's where Cinco Ranch will take over. See if they can get something out of it. Adam Hurts right there with the carry. Handoff from Zach Myers.
Well, Randy, another one of these textbook things about this Katy Tiger team. This is Cinco Ranch's second offensive possession of the first quarter, and it comes with just under 20 seconds left in the quarter. So the second time that they've got their hands on the football, Katy has methodically moved the ball down the field, had 2 scoring drives on top of that.
So with that, the first quarter will come to a close here at Rhodes Stadium at Katy. And thus far, it has been all Katy Tiger football. 14-0 lead. We're heading to the second quarter here on FSN. Back live at Rhodes Stadium at Katy. Our Dodge High School game of the week on FSN. Katy cruising so far, 14-0 over Cinco Ranch. A very productive first quarter for the Tigers. Cinco Ranch trying to get something started. It's Gary Joseph's ball club. 2nd and 7 as we start the second quarter. Zach Myers out to Tanner Kuba. Crosses the 35-yard line. He's brought down by Trent Hunter. Also Andrew Harrell in on the stop. A little help from Terrence Frederick as well for Cinco Ranch. Brings up 3rd and 1 coming up for the Cougars. Look at the Dodge keys to the game for Cinco Ranch, Jake.
But you want to protect the quarterback. He is only a sophomore, as we talked about. And then don't get played defensively. Make sure you're staying home on the play-action pass.
Handoff there from Zach Myers. Blaine Atkins with the stop for Katy. Jeff Oliver on the carry for Cinco Ranch. Needed 1 yard, they got it.
Well, how about the hands right there, Zach Myers, only 5'11". You see him climbing the ladder there, Randy, to secure the football and then able to bring it down and get it into the belly of Jeff Oliver before picking up the first down.
Jeff Oliver, Adam Hertz in the backfield for Cinco Ranch. Shotgun from Zach Myers. Handoff goes to Hertz. He's not going to get very far, though. Several Katy Tigers in there on the stop. Michael Marks, one of those Tigers, making that tackle. Let's go down to the field, check in the 3rd member of our crew today, Patty Smith. Hey, Patty.
Hey, Randy, I am down here on the sidelines with the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, Shane Ross. Now, Shane is about 48 hours removed from ACL surgery, so he's probably drugged up and a little bit loopy, but we'll see how he does here. Game 1, you hurt your MCL. You decided to come back. Take us through what happened to you.
I think I tried to come back a little too soon, and I was feeling all right, but not 100%, and I was just running the ball, and I made a cut, and I got hit right on that other leg and tore my ACL, and that ended it.
And that was, of course, in Game 3. You are a junior. Now Zach Myers steps in. Can you just talk about the job that he's doing out there and kind of how much you're helping him out here today?
He's doing a great job. He's stepping up big. Like, he was not expecting to play QB at the beginning of the season, and for him to come in and do the job he's doing, I'm impressed, and I just tell him to stay calm and give him some advice on what to do and just stay relaxed because this is a big game, as you can tell by the atmosphere. But he's doing a great job. I'm proud of him.
Is it killing you not to be out there?
Oh, it's horrible. It's bad. It's what you work for the whole year, and when you can't play, it's kind of depressing, but it's all right.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you back. And Randy, Coach Clayton tells us that Shane will be back next year, and ultimately it could work in their favor because Zach is getting some good reps, and it will help make the transition after Shane is gone for Zach's senior year. Let's head back up to you guys.
All right, Patty, thank you very much. We do wish Shane the best of luck in his recovery. And as you mentioned, Don Clayton feels he'll be back ready to go. During that interview, Cinco Ranch had a good run by Adam Hertz of 13 yards. Very next play, though, Jeff Oliver gets hit and coughs up the football, and Katy's Patrick Benson jumps on it. So another big break for Katy. Another tough luck call there for Cinco Ranch, and Katy will take over, already up 14 points as we start early here in this second quarter. Botch snap right there, a loose ball as well, and Katy will give it right back to Cinco Ranch. Andy McAteer jumps on it for the Cougars. First snap, connection not good between Bo Levi Mitchell and his center Eric Ball.
Bo Levi never got the football. You can see right there at the exchange, wasn't high enough for him, and he was trying to pull out to his left, but the ball bounds forward, and Andy McAteer able to come up on top of it, but that's just a heads-up play right there by the Cinco Ranch defense.
So big break for the Cougars, and they'll get a new series here inside Katy territory. Oliver and Hertz in the backfield. Myers fakes to Hertz, looking over the middle, trying to find Tanner Kuba, and he's got him. Crossing the 30, down to the 25-yard line of the Tigers. 22-yard connection between Myers and Kuba.
Well, you got to love the play call right there by John Edwards, offensive coordinator for this Cinco Ranch team. He knew that he needed something to happen here on that first down after the turnover, so he fakes both backs, Jeff Oliver and Adam Hertz, going toward the line of scrimmage. And you see Zach Myers pull it back and locating Cooper running free down the middle of the field. It's a big play for Cinco Ranch.
Cinco Ranch throws the football 25-30% of the time. When they do, they need production, and they definitely got it there between Myers and Cuba. Oliver with the carry right there. Couple of yards. Brad Graham, tackle for Katy. Brings up 2nd down and 8 now. Mark it at the 23-yard line of the Katy Tigers. Cinco Ranch trying to get on the scoreboard. Down 14. 9-19, 18 and counting here in the second quarter. That's Oliver with the handoff. Goes one way, turns the other, shakes 2 tackles, gets a great block, crossing the 15-yard line. What a run by Jeff Oliver before he's brought down by Terrence Henry.
Well, not many running backs in this area are going to be able to do that to this Katy defense. They have the play snuffed out all on the left-hand side, and you see Jeff Oliver making a decision early, but as he goes out there, he's got nothing. He's giving up yards, and you can see all of the red hats, 5, 6, 7 of those guys. But how about the block he gets by Zach Myers, his quarterback, right there? Throwing a little clearing block for him, getting him inside the 10-yard line.
Gotta love a quarterback laying the block out there. A 13-yard pickup by Oliver. Cinco Ranch threatening here. Handoff goes to Hertz right up the middle. Maybe a couple of yards. Several Katy Tigers in there on that stop.
Well, take a look coming backside. You get the clearing block by your quarterback as he sets it up, and that's what really allowed Jeff Oliver that seam to get down and pick up first down yardage. And well, you talk about the quarterback, only a sophomore. You know he's trying to contribute any way that he can.
So far, Oliver on the day, 5 carries, 63 yards already. Trying to find the end zone. Oliver and Hertz in the backfield for Cinco Ranch. Myers fakes to Oliver, turns the corner, crossing the 5-yard line, shoved out of bounds by Cameron Stickler. Also Blake Adler in there on the pursuit.
A little bit of misdirection. You fake the handoff. That's just the zone read right there. You fake the handoff to Jeff Oliver. You pull it back. Does Zach Myers and tries to make the corner. He's able to pick up some positive yards, but bringing up a big 3rd down. You can see all 3 of the members of the Cinco Ranch backfield looking back toward the line of scrimmage to get instructions on this play.
3rd down and 3 coming up. Cinco Ranch desperately needing points here, down 14 early in this second quarter. Myers with the fake, looking actually for Jeff Oliver, but by then it was too late because Patrick Benson right there to make that stop for a loss.
Well, you made the fake and you're going to run the option on the outside, but before Zach Myers could get the read and pitch the ball out to Jeff Oliver, big number 42, Patrick Benson, coming in from that defensive line position, had that smelled out and defense perfectly, bringing Zach Myers down for a loss.
The Cinco Ranch to try to get some points on the board. Stephen Lomax, the kicker for the Cougars. They'll mark it at the 19. 29-yard field goal is up and good. And Cinco Ranch, they wanted a touchdown, but they will definitely take the points here. Close call down there on the 3-yard line. But they are on the board here with 7:40 left in the second quarter. Katy jumping out to a 14-point lead. Cinco Ranch has cut away 14-3 here in the second. The Dodge High School Game of the Week on FSN is brought to you by State Farm. For young driver discounts up to 40%. See a Texas State Farm agent. Welcome back to Road Stadium at Katy. After the Tigers jumped out to a 14-0 lead over Cinco Ranch, the Cougars bounced back with a nice drive. Nearly got a touchdown. They got it down to the 3-yard line before a big stop by Katy, but it forced a Stephen Lomax 29-yard field goal, and Cinco Ranch, the Cougars, on the board. Now 14-3 ball game. Still plenty of time left here in the second quarter.
We talk about the offensive possessions, though, and the time of possession often overrated as a statistic. But when you talk about this Katy team, especially in today's game, they had 2 scoring drives, Randy, in the first quarter that really chewed up the entire quarter. Cinco Ranch's second offensive possession came with about 20 seconds left in the first quarter. That's only, as we said, the second time that they had the football. It's very difficult to get points on the board when you don't get the football that much.
That's right. Let's take a look at the Dodge scoring drive for Cinco Ranch. Don Clayton likes this. 7 plays, 40 yards, 2:30 off the clock, and again it leads to the Stephen Lomax 24-yard field goal is what they'll call that one to make it 14-3. So, they get the break after that fumble. Katy got it back that first play. The Tigers fumbled, and a nice break for Cinco Ranch, and they take advantage of it.
Well, Myers hooking up with his tight end Tanner Kuba to get them down into scoring range. Give a little credit to that Katy defense as well, though, Randy. They had 1st and goal on about the 8-yard line, and they were able to force the field goal attempt.
Kyle Hirschfielder and Trent Hunter back for Katy, but it will not be a factor as the ball comes down around close to the 30-yard line. Brad Graham there with the reception. That's where Katy will take over. They'll mark it at the 34-yard line with 7:38 left here in the second quarter. So Cinco Ranch gets points. Now it's time for the defense. Don Clayton's firing up that defensive crew. They need to make a stop here.
Well, they had, and Chad Simmons, his defensive coordinator, he's over there cajoling and getting the guys to come on and amping them up to get play here because they got to come up with a stop. And he knows how difficult and how methodical this Katy offense can be, so he wants to make sure that they can take advantage of every opportunity.
Crockett Thompson and Andre Dean in the backfield. The pitch goes to Andre Dean, crossing the 35-yard line. James Ratcliffe with the stop for Cinco Ranch. They'll give him 3 yards on that carry, brings up 2nd down to 7.
But from our vantage point, we're looking down on the field, and every time you see Katy kind of run that student body left or student body right, you see these big athletic linemen coming downhill and just pushing and shoving and making sure that they're keeping the hat on. And then by the way, behind there you've got Andre Dean who's just a hammer running the football. It's a punishing ground attack by Katy.
That offensive line averaging around 260, maybe a tad more, so they can move some people. There's Dean again getting loose across the 40-yard line. Chris Sermon with the stop for Cinco Ranch. Again, big yardage for Andre Dean.
When we talk about Andre Dean, this is the second time we've seen him in the game today being a real downhill power runner, but how about the decision that he makes to slash? Gets in there and he sees a little bit of a seam. He takes the leap over his blocker and defender, picking up a 1st down there. So he mixes a little bit of balance and power with speed.
As we mentioned, Andre Dean gave his verbal commitment. Of course, National Signing Day not until February, but right now his verbal commitment, he's heading out to the West Coast to play for UCLA. 1st and 10 for Katy. Levi Mitchell trying to find Terrence Avey. Avey was coming inside. The ball was outside. Barely got a hand on it.
You talk about that commitment to UCLA, and boy, I tell you what, this is going to be a pretty maniacal year in college football coaching ranks. There's a lot of head coaches on the hot seat and things, and Carl Darnell is one of those guys at UCLA, and you just wonder.
A lot of guys that make these verbal commitments,
you've
been in the position before. You wait and make sure that coach is going to be there.
Well, absolutely, and you would figure that Andre Dean, the way things are going, if that does happen, I mean, you've got to figure he's still in play, and I'm a big advocate of Texas talent staying in Texas, so certainly it'd be good to see him have an opportunity to do that.
Another big hole for Dean on that left side, crossing the 50. Will Morris with the tackle for Cinco Ranch. Left side of that offensive line for Katy, doing a heck of a job there.
Well, big Cameron Travis here does a nice job of clearing, and you talk about locking on to a guy and just punishing and pushing in that punishing running game that we've been talking about, Randy, but it all starts up front with the big fellas, and when you get a hat on a guy and you're able to drive him out and you've got a back like Andre Dean coming behind you, sure makes the job a lot easier, but boy, at the point of attack, Katy is doing a very nice job of moving the Cinco Ranch defenders.
See Cameron Travis, the lone junior on that offensive line. Lone junior starter, as a matter of fact, for Katy on this offense. Moving people around. Levi Mitchell, handoff again. Andre Dean spins for extra yardage. Crossing that 45-yard line again. Will Morris once again in on the stop for Cinco Ranch. Go down the field, check in with Patty Smith. Patty?
Thanks, Randy. I'm down here on the field with the Chief of Sports Medicine for Memorial Hermann, who, of course, is one of our sponsors, Tori Crawford. And, Tori, tell us about your involvement here with these Katy football players.
Well, one of the things that we're doing with a lot of the local independent school districts is developing a relationship where we are the healthcare provider. And over the last couple of years, we've done that with Katy. So we are the healthcare provider for the entire school district to give us an opportunity to really reach out to the communities and really have an opportunity for the players to really tap into our healthcare and what we're able to provide to them and for them from a clinical expertise standpoint and also from a sports medicine and rehab standpoint as well.
Well, and it really has become so important over the years, not only to, help these players and treat these players after injury, but prevention as well.
Right. The human performance piece is absolutely vital to their success. In a day and time where there's always the tendency and also the opportunity, unfortunately, for some of these young kids to tap into steroids. We want to show them that, there's no need to do that. There's no need to do that. We can really educate you on the right techniques, the right performance measures you need to make in order to make yourself a better player.
All right, I got to send it back up to Randy here, and I'm going to brag on your stats here in just a minute. Randy?
All right, Patty, thank you very much. On that last play, 35-yard touchdown from Bo Levi Mitchell to Ryan Dorr. Great catch by Dorshay in the back of the end zone. Had that right hand on it and held onto it as he hit the ground.
Well, little fingertip catches he brings in. We talk about it all game, but the punishing running game, setting up the play action pass, and you see Ryan Dorr doing a nice job of concentrating on the football. You see it sailing just a little bit. He turns those shoulders around, never takes his eyes off the football, cradles it in for the touchdown. And Ryan Dorr's a young man. We talk about commitments and those types of things. He's headed to South Carolina to play his college football.
Point after is good by Raul Balbuena, and it's 21-3 now. Katy on top after the big 35-yard strike from Bo Levi Mitchell to Ryan Dorr. 7 plays, 66 yards on that drive. A little over 3 minutes off the clock for Katy, and just like that, it's an 18-point lead here in the second quarter. Nice touch on that football from Bo Levi Mitchell, finding Ryan Dorr. Katy off to a fast start. 21-3 here in the second quarter. Back on our Dodge High School game of the week, 21-3. Katy on top of Cinco Ranch after that last touchdown pass from Bo Levi Mitchell to Ryan Dorr. 4:31 left here in the first half. Katy tries to take control of this football game. Up by 18. The gentleman that Patty Smith just interviewed, quite a history going back to his time at Army. 1984 to 1987. Tori Crawford. Career rushing yards for 2,300, 35 rushing touchdowns. He's in the Army record books, third all-time at Army by a quarterback. Pretty impressive. Now helping out the cause with Katy ISD. All right, Katy kicking it off. Ryan Dorr boots it right through the back of the end zone. Guess he's a little pumped up after that touchdown, huh?
Yeah, he is. Not only is he kicking, he's the punter, and coming off that touchdown catch, drills it not into the back of the end zone, out of the end zone.
Almost to the grass where the fans were sitting back there.
Yeah.
The stadium, by the way, folks, here at Road Stadium, the Cinco Ranch side just about full. Katy side obviously full. They were here early. Cinco Ranch bringing a good contingent as well, but a lot of fans there in that grass area on that the west part of the stadium, that west end zone. Great area to sit back and watch some football out there. Cinco Ranch will take over after that kickoff. They'll start it on the 20-yard line. Down 18. They desperately need some points to get back into this thing as they get ready for the half. Zach Myers, fake there to Oliver. Pitches out. Loose ball. Looks like Cinco Ranch will jump back on it. The pitch was out to Adam Hurts, and it's Hurst who jumps back on it.
Well, Cameron Stickler, the linebacker for Katy, he's come up and he plays the pitch perfectly. He forces Zach Myers to pitch the football, and as Zach pitches the ball out, Hurst fortunate that he's able to get back on top of it. That would have been devastating for Cinco Ranch to turn the ball over this deep in their own end zone. And
Trent Hunter in there on the stop there on Hurts. Oliver and Hurts in the backfield for Cinco Ranch. After a loss of 1, second and 11. Handoff goes to Oliver, crosses the 20-yard line. Cameron Strickler again and on the stop for Katy. He's having a good first half so far. Strickler, a 5'11", 175-pound senior.
Yep, staying home on the cutback run, and we've seen Jeff Oliver break some long runs in this ball game on the cutback. Strickler staying home on that one and able to bring him down for a short gain.
Another big third down play coming up for Cinco Ranch. Trips on the left side, one back. It's Jeff Oliver. Myers on the rollout, looking for his receiver, well covered. He's going to be forced out of bounds at around the 26-yard line. Again, on the pursuit, you had Strickler, you had Blake Adler, also Patrick Benson.
Well, the secondary coverage was outstanding. Really, as you see, Randy, Zach Myers looking downfield, trying to find somebody to throw the football to, but not a receiver breaking clear, so he tucks it up and is not able to pick up a first down, being forced out by that Katy pressure.
So first punt of the ball game occur right now.
Well, this is going into a little bit of a win. We talk about the kickoff for Katy sailing out of the back of the end zone. Now Cinco Ranch forced to punt into that win.
Will Morris with the punt for Cinco Ranch. That is not the result he wanted. Right into the wind and right back. And they'll mark it at the 37-yard line, it looks like. Determining the spot right now, but not the punt they were looking for. 10 yards on that punt from Will Morris. But again, wind playing a factor there. They move from west to east here at Rhodes Stadium. Another big break for Katy.
Yeah, and taking a look at the wind that's blowing in this stadium right now. That's the wind that Morris was punting into, and you saw, Randy, the ball just launched up almost like a knuckleball coming back down. So good shot there by the camera crew.
Katy with a golden opportunity here as they mark it at the 37-yard line. John Taylor and Andre Dean in the backfield for the Tigers. The handoff goes to Andre Dean. Big hole, good block there, crossing the 30. Down to the 26-yard line. Chris Sermon in there on the stop for Cinco Ranch. Again, he just followed the blocking. Cameron Travis and company opening another big hole for him.
Well, and that is some good blocking up front. You see Nate Bryan right there, a guy we talked about earlier, returning all-district player on that right tackle spot, paving the way.
Hey, coming up at halftime, Rick Ritter is in the FSN studio with recruiting expert Randy Rogers. We'll also see and hear the marching band from Katy and Cinco Ranch High School. Again, that's coming up at halftime. So far in the day, Andre Dean, 16 carries for 109 yards and 1 touchdown. He is a workhorse today. So far, very productive. Will Morris in there on the stop right there. Another day at the office for Andre Dean. Every week out that he knows they're going to be counting on. Came into the ball game with 895 yards. He's crossed 1,000 for the season today.
And you talk about relying on him. He averages 19 carries a game coming into today's game, and I think he's just over 20 carries so far in the first half.
Dean again inside the 20-yard line, maybe down to the 19. John Joffrey on the stop there for Cinco Ranch. Joffrey, a senior here for Cinco. Devin Williams also on that stop. 3rd down and 2 coming up now for Katy. Under a minute and a half left here in the first half.
There's a big tight end, Markham Staten, walking out of the huddle and looking over at the Katy sideline saying, come on, guys, get into this ball game. And so you hear the fans responding.
See the numbers there for Andre Dean, 18 totes for 115 yards so far this afternoon. 3rd and 2 now for Katy. Levi Mitchell looking for the end zone again, and it's Brian Rowe, another touchdown for Katy. Bo Levi Mitchell, plenty of time on that rollout. 19-yard strike to a wide open Brian Rowe. And another touchdown for Katy as they blow it open here late in the first half.
Well, when you get a steady dose of Andre Dean, the play-action pass becomes a lot more effective. Brian Rowe running clear on the corner route, and Bo Levi Mitchell doing a nice job of being able to pick him up. But on, you got to figure third down and about 2.5 yards, play-action pass was the right call. Offensive coordinator Pat Dowling for Katy, dialing it up just perfect.
That's exactly well put. Rowe Balbuena again, point after is good. 57 seconds left here in the first half at Rhodes Stadium. Katy in control of this football game. 4 plays, they go 37 yards, minute 55 off the clock. And they are now up by 25 over Cinco Ranch. This week, Fox NFL Sunday returns with a doubleheader beginning with the Giants and Dolphins playing the first ever NFL regular season game in London, or the Eagles battle the Vikings. Then the Redskins look to upset the Patriots, or the Saints battle the 49ers. Our coverage begins with the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at 11 a.m. Central only on Fox. Pick your local listing for games in your area.
Well, maybe a change of venue will help the Dolphins out.
Take it all the way to London to try to get a win.
Yeah, they're in desperate need of a W, and no, can anybody derail the Patriots right now?
Well, yeah, all eyes point to that showdown with the Colts here in a couple of weeks. The battle of the unbeaten is what it should be, and that's the matchup people are looking for. Tom Brady and company, it's a well-oiled machine there in New England, and it's a great defense. Throw in that. They do a heck of a job over there.
Yeah, and such a well-coached team. And you know what? You just seem like they thrive a little bit on the turmoil. You know, the early season.
Bill Belichick
reprimand.
keeps them focused.
Absolutely.
Kickoff again, right through the end zone from Ryan Dorr. Taking advantage of that nice win. Nothing against his leg. He's got a great leg, but at that win factor as you go east to west here at Rhodes Stadium today. Ryan Dorr already a touchdown today. Good job kicking the football. Take a look at that Dodge scoring drive once again. Again, 4 plays and 37 yards. They had an 11-yard punt that set up that drive for Katy. And again, they eat up a minute 55 off the clock. We're under a minute to go here in the first half. Cinco Ranch. Do they have a quick strike in them before halftime? Blake Adler in there on the stop for Katy. Handoff went to number 19, Adam Hertz. Hertz, one of the juniors here on this offense for Cinco Ranch. They lost a lot of seniors a year ago, and it was a great rebuilding effort. They had guys step up and fill those holes on the Cinco Ranch offense. Under 30 seconds to play. It's Hertz again on the carry. Tries to get around that right corner. Not going to happen, though. Sam Hall there with the stop for Katy. Nice hustle to make that tackle. Hertz trying to get that around that corner, but Hall right there. Good pursuit there, Shay.
Well, you like to see, too, running back or defensive backs coming up and being able to take a running back down one-on-one in space with nothing going on except the running back trying to juke you, but never losing sight. And, talking about Katy building and having a young team. That's only a sophomore sending in right there and making that tackle on, I guess, a very good running back.
No timeout by Katy. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Hey, Katy is a team. It's a no-nonsense team, and we know that. And you can look at the scores that they have, but they see an opportunity right now with Cinco Ranch going into the wind that if they're able to force a 4th down punt, there's still 16 seconds left in this ball game, and only took them a minute 55 to score last time, but it will afford them the opportunity to take a couple of long shots downfield to see if they can put another score on the board before the half.
Katy offense has been rolling all season long. Again, they were held a couple of weeks ago by A-Leaf Hastings to only 24 points. They still won 24-13, but every other ball game they've been scoring no less than 38 points. 40 points on 4 occasions, 50 points once, and that came last week against Morgan Ranch.
Well, they're averaging 42 on the season per game, so they know what to do when they get the football.
Zach Myers.
one. T.J. Cardone had the ball but was not able to secure it. Terrence Frederick coming in from that cornerback position was able to dislodge him. That would have been a huge pickup and a first down. And how about the arm strength right there by Zach Myers? He had
tough.
enough to get it out there, and that was a long throw for him.
It gets this wind. I mean, this wind is really picking up. Right now moving west to east, Cinco Ranch, so you got major problems, and another one coming up here on the punt. They had problems last time with Will Morris punted, 11 yards, led to that last Katy touchdown. This time only 8 seconds left here in the first half.
And Randy, you can see right now that the punt returner, he's only about 17 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's how much this wind is blowing.
That's Kyle Hirschfielder. Will Morris keeps it low, a little bit better yardage on this one. Hirschfielder jumps on it on their Katy 45-yard line, but that's as time expires here in the first half. That time, Will Morris, 33-yard punt. You keep it low out of that wind, you're in good shape. So they'll head to the locker rooms as we head to the half here at Rhodes Stadium in Katy. It has been all Katy Tigers to this point. 28-3, Bo Levi Mitchell, very productive first half, Shea, along with Andre Dean. They're throwing the football, they're running the football awfully well, and it's led to a 25-point lead. Let's head down to the field, check in with Patty Smith.
Thank you, Coach. A 25-point lead heading into the half. Andre Dean with about 115 yards already. Things are going pretty much, couldn't be better for you at this point.
Well, the kids are playing well so far. We've got a couple of things we've got to work out defensively, but I was pleased with the way we've thrown and caught the ball, too, and Andre's done a good job. Just a turnover right there, it kind of hurt us, but, for the most part, it was a good half.
So what will you tell these kids at the half when you go in?
It's 4 quarters of football.
That is what a coach says.
Yeah, that's right. Your husband can attest to that, too. Thanks.
All right, yes, he can. Thank you so much, Coach. We've got to go take a quick time out here, but when we come back, Rick Renner will be in the studio with another Double R Randy Rogers, and we will also watch these bands and drill team perform. Stay with us.
And welcome into the FSN studios for your Taco Bell halftime report. I'm Rick Renner. We'll get you back out to Randy Mack and Shea Walker for second half action in just a moment. This is Randy Rogers, if you don't know, from RandyRogersRecruiting.com, which is so fitting. When we talk about recruiting in the great state of Texas, the Dallas Metroplex has won the state titles with the major classifications. They've had unbelievable D1 talent, better so than H-Town, but Houston is starting to catch up.
Yeah, I think it was probably almost 2-1, Rick, the last couple of years on Dallas versus Houston Town. I think that's completely turned around. Houston really has a lot of good players, particularly skilled players this year.
And speaking of that, let's take a look at some of the stud running backs in the state. You got to look at the top of the list. Nate Newton's boy, Trey Newton, who has been lighting up the scoreboards for years at mighty South Lake Carroll.
Yeah, it seems like he's been playing there for about 5 or 6 years, doesn't it? Outstanding player, as is Jeremy Hills. And for Longhorn fans, you know that's the younger brother of Tony Hills, their outstanding left tackle. DJ Monroe from Angleton, another Texas commit at running back, but probably going to play corner early in his career. Justin Johnson from Gilmore, also going to play on the other side of the ball at Oklahoma, because that depth chart is pretty deep at that position. And 2 outstanding players from San Antonio, Devin Thomas and Marcus Wright.
Man, Bob Stoops and company, they got a stable of running backs. They're going to love this kid, Jeremy Calhoun of Van. What do you like about this kid?
Well, he does everything. He has moves, he has strength, he's a 200-pound plus guy, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. They've even taken to playing him at quarterback some this year, just so they can get the ball in his hands all the time. Here you see him laying out for a pass.
He can do it all. And when you talk about great running backs, you got to talk about Sam McGuffey of Cy-Fair, an international YouTube phenom. Who could forget the infamous run last year when he jumped over a would-be tackler while he was standing up? Unbelievable numbers last year. He's going to Michigan. The Wolverines are back in the state of Texas. What do you think of Sam I Am?
Well, I think he's so fast, Rick. When he gets the ball, he just explodes on top of the defense. He's not a real big guy, but because he plays so fast, nobody really gets a great shot at him.
We got to talk about the dean of all running backs, the one you're seeing tonight on FSN, Katy's Andre Dean. He has been something else. He's going to Westwood to play at UCLA. Smart kid, and he's got the talent to match.
Yeah, the thing I like most about Andre Dean, of all the running backs we're going to talk about tonight, he's the big back. He's the downhill runner. He's the guy who can move the chains and get first down. He also got enough speed to break it, but he's the kind of guy that can carry it 20, 25 times a game.
Let's talk about a couple of the guys who are uncommitted right now, and we got to talk about John Quiz Rogers of Lamar Consolidated. What do you know about him? What's going on with him?
I love him, but he's a little guy, 5'7", 175, but he is closing in on some records, Rick, because he has 99 touchdowns for his career. He's closing in on 7,000 rushing yards. He's averaged over 160 yards a game since his freshman year, including his freshman year.
Wow, I know the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame faithful out there all over the world, and they are everywhere. They're hoping that this Cyrus Gray kid from DeSoto will go there. Are we going to see him in South Bend?
Well, I talked to Coach Dave Meadows at DeSoto, and Cyrus has a bunch of offers. Notre Dame is the only recruiting trip that he has set so far. So he can catch the ball. He plays quarterback. He can return kicks. He is so fast.
You know, Katy has a good chance of putting together another state championship run, especially when you got this amazing Trent Hunter kid. This kid can pretty much do it all.
Yeah, he does. He returns punts for him. He plays defense. He can run the reverse. He's kind of a real deal. He's committed to Kansas State. They got on him last spring and made an offer last spring before anybody else does. It's a great steal for them.
I mean, he is just Mr. Versatility. We see him returning punts, carrying the ball at running back, playing a mean defensive back, which is, you know, when you look at kids that go to the next level and you got someone that can do so many different things, what does that do for you as a college?
Well, what it does, it helps the kid because there's so many different roles, and as a freshman, you got to find some way to get on the field. He's got a variety of ways that he can get on the field early in his career.
Katy even has a world-class punter place kicker in Ryan Dorr, who closes the door. He's going to be doing this stuff for Steve Spurrier at South Carolina. That says something about him, huh?
You know, we talked on our Thursday night show about the different schools in here recruiting in Texas. Here's South Carolina in here. Ryan was the outstanding kicker in my Summer Lone Star Kicking Challenge. Won the punting, got second in the punting competition, won the kickoff, was in the finals for the field. He can do it all.
We are getting our kicks with Randy Rogers at RandyRogersRecruiting.com. Check him out. Thanks for the knowledge, as always. Appreciate it. It's time for us to sit back, get some popcorn, get it ready, because the second half is right around the corner on FSN. Enjoy the rest of the game.
It's time for the Taco Bell halftime report. Taco Bell, think outside the bun here at Rhodes Stadium in Katy. Beautiful day for football. We are at the half. Katy Tigers leading Cinco Ranch 28-3. We are glad to be joined now by the athletic director of the Katy Independent School District, Rusty Dowling, hanging out with us. What a great day for football. So far, so good for the Katy Tigers. Huh?
You're right, Randy. It's a spectacular day here. We are very excited about the day. It's a beautiful day, and having you all here has been great, and we've certainly enjoyed the festivity that's gone with us.
Having the chance to have a program like Katy and Cinco Ranch, head coach Don Clayton and Gary Joseph, they do great jobs with their programs, getting some regional television experience today. That's good for the district and for the program.
Well, it is. It's very good for the district. Again, we certainly appreciate the publicity that goes with it, and it's good for the programs. All of our programs, but, today it's about Katy and about Cinco Ranch. But overall, it's Katy ISD, and we're just very, very pleased that, we're able to do this today.
Tell us what's going on with the district. Right now, 6 high schools make up the Katy Independent School District. Are there more on the way? This is a booming area of Houston here.
Well, eventually there will be more on the way. You're right. We're a district of 55,000 right now and growing. That's certainly a key word for Katy is the growth. And we are expanding, which also ties into, our extracurricular programs as well. Besides athletics, our fine arts, and all those other programs that the kids are involved with. With that growth comes the growth in those programs as well, too. So we're very excited about the growth, but it sure does take a lot of planning.
Talk about the game day experience. We were here early, 11 a.m. start here at Rhodes Stadium. The Katy fans were out early, so were the Cinco Ranch fans. Lots of maroon and red early in the morning, tailgating going on. When you have a program, especially like Katy, who has so much tradition, that goes with it, doesn't it?
They get fired up. They really get fired up. They were here early this morning. I heard that they were lining up at 6:15, 6:30 this morning for this ball game. And so I know they're very excited about it. But, this is pretty much the norm for football here in Katy. They will line up early. They're excited to get to the game and watch all the aspects of the game besides the football game, the halftime that's so good. So we get a lot of support from our communities.
Very good. Rusty Dowling, athletic director of Katy Independent School District. He knows a thing or or two about football. He won 2 state championships at Texas City, so I know you enjoyed your run as a coach as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was a good time. I enjoyed it and hope to experience it here as well.
Thanks for the hospitality today.
Thank you, Randy.
Halftime here at Road Stadium at Katy. The Katy Tiger High School band about to take over for their festivity. They're leading right now 28-3. More halftime festivities coming up. Welcome back to the Taco Bell halftime report. Road Stadium in Katy. Katy leading Cinco Ranch 28-3. Taco Bell think outside the bun. Right now, let's listen in to the Katy High School marching band. Sounds for the Katy High School marching band. More of the Taco Bell halftime report coming up. Katy leading Cinco Ranch 28-3. Welcome back to the Taco Bell halftime report on FSN. Taco Bell think outside the bun. Katy High School leading Cinco Ranch 28-3. We're at the half. As Katy tries to improve their record to 8-0. We heard from the Katy marching band about the sounds from the Cinco Ranch, the Cougar marching band. Enjoy. Sounds for the Cinco Ranch marching band. Great job by both bands today. Katy leading Cinco Ranch 28-3. Second half kickoff coming up on FSN. Welcome back. Our Dodge High School game of the week on FSN. About to start the second half. Katy on top 28-3. Before we start the second half, let's toss it down to Patty Smith with Cinco Ranch head coach Don Clayton.
All right, thank you, Randy. Coach, down here by 25. You got your work cut out for you this second half. What do you need to do offensively, first of all?
Well, I think more than anything else, we've got to become more consistent on offense, and we've got to execute much better. They're an outstanding football team. We knew that coming in, and there's a reason they're ranked number one in the state. They're, without a doubt, best team in the state right now, and we're seeing that firsthand. But we've got to come out and execute much better than what we have, and we're young, but we've got to grow up right now.
And defensively, how do you stop Andre Dean?
Better tackling better, but their offensive line's doing a good job pushing us around, and you know they're doing what they need to do to be a successful football team. And you know right now we've just got to do a better job of tackling him and get him before he gets started. He's very confident. He's an outstanding running back, and you know Mitchell's throwing the ball extremely well. So they've got a tandem right now going real well, and we've got to find a way to slow it down.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Randy.
All right, Patty, thank you very much. John Clayton and the Cougars with a little work to do, down 25 as we start the second half. Katy on top 28-3. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Taco Bell halftime stats. And here they are, Shay. Rushing yards, passing yards, nice balance by Katy. 243 total yards here in the first half.
Well, it's pretty much, Randy, other than the one turnover for Katy, it's been a pretty much picture-perfect first half for them. They've executed the running game like they expect to do. The play-action passes come along like they expected to. You talk about Bo Levi Mitchell. He's only had 10 passing attempts. He's completed 7 of those, and 3 of those to touchdowns, and that was to 3 different receivers.
Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights from here at Rhodes Stadium. Get a good start for Katy, moving it around, throwing the football. The first touchdown from Andre Dean.
Well, they do. They start off with a little bit of this power running game, and they like to set that up. And it's no question as to what's going to happen when they do that. But once they get that established, then you see Joey Fuda coming in for that first touchdown reception. Then Cinco Ranch with the turnover, but Katy gives it right back, and this is the only fumble that they lost in the first half. And Cinco Ranch was able to put 3 points on the board after that turnover, after having knocked on the door. Speaking of Dorr, how about Ryan Dorr going down for the touchdown catch, the second receiver located, and then you've got Brian Rowe coming out with a nice little flag route to really help put this Katy team in control of this football game.
So we'll get set to start the second half now. Katy will kick off to Cinco Ranch. Ryan Dorr with the honors. Again, they have that wind advantage going east to west here at Rhodes Stadium. How crucial here for Cinco Ranch to make a statement here early in this third quarter, Jeff.
You heard Don Clayton. He knows how important it is, and he knows that he's got a young football team on his hands, but he wants to make sure that these guys, they are 3-1 in the district. He wants to make sure that, look, there's no quit, there's no give up in this, and certainly from him and his staff, you know that they're encouraging these guys to come out. Look, just go out there and make plays. It's a one play at a time kind of mentality. Don't worry about the score. You even heard Coach Clayton at the outset say, we're not playing the Katy fans. We're not playing the Katy Booster Club and support and traditions. We're playing those 11 guys on the field. Let's get out there, put a hat on a hat, man up, and play some football.
Well, Don Clayton hopes these guys will respond here. You look at the reaction there from Dorr right after that kick. Pretty pumped up there, taking care of business there. Through the end zone, and Cinco Ranch will start the second half here. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. You got Jeff Oliver and Adam Hertz in the backfield. Zach Myers with the handoff. And Jeff Oliver's not going far at all. A whole host of Katy Tigers Adam Yakub, Elvin Tapong. A couple others in there on that stop.
You mentioned Yakub and Tapong. Those are two of the guys that are on the front line. I mean, I'm talking about this is not getting to the second level. Big Micah Marks is in there as well. I mean, you've got those front three very active on that defensive front for Katy.
Clayton telling us this week, he said that's the scary thing about this Katy defense. Wherever the ball is, you're going to see 5 red shirts around it awfully quick. Zach Myers dumps it off there to Adam Hertz. They'll mark it out of bounds there at the 23-yard line. Andrew Harrell with the stop there for Katy.
Defensive coordinator Greg Miller for Katy Tigers. I mean, he talks about, look, we've got guys that can back you up. If you come out, if you get a little gash, a little winded, I expect to see 11 bodies and 11 hats flying to the football. They do a really nice job of that here at Katy.
All right, 3rd down at 7 now coming up for Cinco Ranch at the 23-yard line. Opening series of the second half. Adam Hertz going back for the Cougars. Zach Myers looking for a receiver over the middle, throwing into traffic, and it's going to be picked off by Andrew Harrell. Zach Myers, Shea, thrown into double coverage, and it's going the other way after the interception.
Well, the defensive secondary for Katy had the wide receiver bracketed. Andrew Harrell's over on the inside coming from that safety position. Just reads the eyes of the quarterback. That's one thing the young sophomore will learn, not to lock onto that receiver. But he does. He throws the ball, and Andrew Harrell, steps in front of that for the interception.
Trying to find Tyler Halen there on that pass right there, but instead, interception for Harrell, and Tigers will take over now on the 29-yard line. Louis Zavala and Andre Dean in the backfield for Katy. Levi Mitchell fakes to Dean, going for the deep ball, looking for Terrence Avey. And Avey goes upstairs to haul it in. A 29-yard strike from Bo Levi Mitchell to Terrence Avey. That ball just hung up there for a while, Shea. Avey said, I'm going after that football, and I'm bringing it down, and he did that.
Well, Avey's got a 22-yard average. Take a look here at Bo Levi Mitchell. He throws a perfect pass, and I'm going to tell you what, the coverage was not bad. You see Tanner Leland, the cornerback, he is right there, but Avey just able to get that long frame up over the top and makes a circus catch for a touchdown. Avey comes into the game averaging 22 yards a catch. No stranger to the end zone as well.
No doubt about that. Another touchdown for him on the season. Valbuena with the point after. And after that break, Katy scores again. 35-3 lead early in the third quarter. Katy leading Cinco Ranch 35-3 in our Dodge High School Game of the Week here on FSN. Another day at the office for Gary Joseph and his Katy Tigers, and he can thank Bo Levi Mitchell for helping get the job done today, Shea. Pretty good numbers so far on the afternoon for Bo Levi Mitchell. Only 11 attempts. He has taken advantage of that. 8 for 11, 151 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Well, and that's it, 4 different receivers he's been able to locate, get his guys downfield, so he's not relying on one guy to do that for him. He's had a touchdown to Joey Fuda, then to Ryan Dorr, Brian Rowe. Now Terrence Avey getting in on the act. And the scoring drives for Katy, Randy, I mean, we've seen them be methodical. Run the football down the field using the play action pass to get that going. They've had a couple of 4-minute plus drives, a 3-minute plus drive, but these last 2 possessions they've scored in 1:55, and on that last one, 8 seconds.
Kick from Ryan Dorr through that end zone one more time. And Cinco Ranch will take over at the 20-yard line. Let's go down to the field, check in with Patty Smith.
Thank you, Randy. I'm joined by Carolyn Bernstein and Chris Mallett of State Farm. And you guys have been a part of all of the high school games here on FSN. Tell us a little bit about State Farm's involvement.
Yes, we've been sponsoring Texas football now for some time. Since we've been serving the Texas area since 1928, and just enjoy giving back to the community.
And Carolyn, tell us what else you're doing in the state of Texas.
Well, State Farm's really trying to get involved in local high school programs that sponsor athletics as well as the academics. and we're very proud to announce our State Farm for Texas Scholar Program, which is the largest of its kind. We're giving away $1,000 in scholarships this year to 50 student athletes, and I encourage everyone to participate by going to www.texasscholarathlete.com.
Very awesome. You hear that, kids? This girl's giving away the cash. You might want to come down here. Chris, tell us a little bit, why high school? Why do you guys want so much involvement with the high school sports?
We've made education and our top priority as far as educating these kids and making sure that they reach their achievements and become pillars in the community, well-rounded adults. So that's why we're putting it in.
All right. Thank you, guys. A great job. We appreciate your support all season long. Randy?
All right, Patty, thank you very much. Again, State Farm really stepping up to the plate and backing high school athletics year in and year out. We appreciate their support. Good folks stopping by Road Stadium here this afternoon. The Cinco Ranch coming up. Big 3rd down and 3 here for the Cougars, Shea.
Well, they're going to need to punch something across, at least get those chains moving, see if they can't pick up a first down right now, because Katy's got a lot of momentum on their side, and this is still a very difficult punting situation going into the wind.
Marking on the 27-yard line. They need to get out to the 30. Myers over the middle to Preston Broom. And he's got enough, it looks like, for the first down. Adam Yakub in there on the stop along with Andrew Harrell for Katy.
Well, that's a big conversion right there by Cinco Ranch, just to get the chains moving, hopefully to get some continuity in the offense. And take a look at the catch. Here's your inside receiver. Watch him go back behind the body. Use those hands. Nice job of hanging on while he's getting hit. No, he's going to take a hit over the top as well, but able to secure the football, pick up a big first down for his team.
Out to the 34-yard line. Adam Hertz with the carry. Sam Hull with the stop for Katy. Blake Adler also in there with some help. Pick up a 4. 2nd down and 6 now coming up for the Cougars.
Nice job by that Cougar offensive line. And how about the running right there by Adam Hertz? That's not easy sledding in there. You see him taking a couple of shots, but he keeps those legs driving, picking up big yards on first down.
Myers on the keep. Crosses the 40-yard line. Down to the 43. Again, Hull in there on the stop. Hull, the sophomore linebacker for Katy. Needs some quality action here today. 35-3, Katy with the lead here in the 3rd quarter. That touchdown strike to Terrence Avey. Push their lead to 32 points here over Cinco Ranch. Cougars trying to muster some kind of a positive drive here in the second half. Looks like that'll be enough for the first down. Hertz again with the carry. Patrick Benson on the stop for Katy.
Not many yards, but tough yards, and enough to move the chains for another Cinco Ranch first down.
If you're Katy, you're going to give that up a little bit. Try to make that stop, but it's eating up a lot of clock time.
Well, I mean, they do a nice job of defending it. Patrick Benson, young man's name, we've called a couple of times today coming in, but not able to keep Hertz from the first down.
It goes to Jeff Oliver. Trying to fight his way down to the 50-yard line. Blaine Atkins, senior linebacker, the tackle for Katy. Next week, Katy, if they win today to go to 8-0, they will take on Alief Elsick, and they will close the regular season against Maid Creek. Trying to complete a 10-0 regular season before they make a playoff run. Currently #1 in the state of Texas. Big bullseye on your back. They're used to that around Katy, though.
You know, Randy, I don't know that they would have it any other way. If you're, like I said, the Katy coaching staff, the players, the community, I mean, they like being in that #1 position. They like being the one that you're going to go after, and
I mean, they plan on
certainly a position they're very comfortable being in.
I mean, they plan on a 15 or 16-week season.
Oh, yeah.
They're used to that. That's what they plan on, and they have a goal to get there again this year. Adam Hertz around the right side, trying to get some breathing room, and he does. Picks up an extra 5. Flag down, though. Also a Cinco Ranch player, also down around the 38-yard line. Looks like it might be Matt Stewart, the center, number 61. Trainers will come out for Cinco Ranch, check in on Matt Stewart. It looked like initially he was grabbing his ankle, but then he rolled over. It's hard to tell what the injury might be.
Look like we're going to get a sideline warning against Katy or something, but there's a couple of hopping mad Katy coaches over there getting into the official's ear, and it's good to see Matt Stewart able to walk off under his own power. Still got a little bit of limp there, but hopefully something he can shake off. And it will be a first down for Cinco Ranch.
Jerry Joseph giving that sideline judge an earful there, Shay.
Yep.
You said, we earlier said he's calm, cool, collected on the sideline.
That's on the outside.
Until that.
Well, it's game day, too.
All right, first and 10 from 33. Adam Hurts. Blake Adler with the stop. Also had some help as well from Adam Yakub. Found that seam, but it was quickly sealed up by that Katy defense.
Well, doing a nice job running lateral. Blake Adler coming over the top just to make sure that he doesn't get by Yakub. But those linebackers for Katy, very, very aggressive.
They'll give him 1 yard on that pickup. Second down and 9 now. Myers, little shuffle pass to Jeff Oliver. Just inside the 30-yard line, down to the 28-yard line. Blake Atkins. Or Blaine Atkins, I should say.
Well, we've seen the option play by Cinco Ranch. They tried to set this up by running the option with Zach Myers, but as he comes back, instead of pitching it to the outside, he pitches it back to the inside, trying to hit that Katy defense and get them over pursuing, but up to the task.
Third down and 5 now for Cinco. Myers has pressure, tries to unload to Tanner Kuba. That's overthrown. Nice pressure there from Katy. Brad Graham in there on the pressure.
Well, here's Zach Myers.
Blaine Atkins again.
You see he shows the ball for a little bit of play fake to try and hold those linebackers, but Brad Graham coming in from that outside linebacker position had a bead drawn on the number 12.
The Cougars will go for it here on fourth down. Snap goes to Adam Hurts. Follows the lead block there on that right side. Shane, that looks like enough for a first down.
He's going to get enough for the first down. How about that direct snap? And Adam Hurts comes into today's game, averaging 5 yards a carry. Only a junior at 5'11", 194 pounds. And one of those guys, along with Jeff Oliver, really from what we've been accustomed to seeing and hearing about this Cinco Ranch team, Randy, a lot being a pass-oriented team, but with the injuries at quarterback and the different things that they're having to do, they're really relying more on their running game this year.
There's Cinco Ranch. As Katy takes a timeout. Big fourth down play. And again, when you're down this many, you got to take a chance. Try to make it respectable here. We're going to break away. 5:41 left here in the third quarter. Katy on top 35-3. First and 10 here for Cinco Ranch. Katy with a major stop on Jeff Oliver right there. Patrick Benson leading the charge there for the Tigers. A loss of 1 yard brings up second down and 11. As Cinco Ranch tries to get some points out of this drive here midway through the third quarter. Down 35-3 to Katy now. Myers shuffle pass. It's Adam Hurts again. Picks up a couple. Blaine Atkins in there on the stop for Katy.
Trent Hunter, who we've seen make some big plays in today's ball game in the run game. The free safety committed to Kansas State. Comes in and puts a hat on the ball as well.
Third down and 7 now for Cinco Ranch. They'll mark it at the 18-yard line. Jeff Oliver, Adam Hurts back there with Zach Myers. Thanks to Oliver, tries to scoot around right side. Kind of got tripped up there by Patrick Benson, and then Blake Adler finished things off on that play.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was
at the 19-yard line.
Nice job by him just to get by. Patrick Benson because it was dead to right. So you see he's going to run clearly right around his right side. But here comes the defenders right up on him. And Zach Myers able to pick up some positive yards. He might have been dropped for about a 4 or 5 yard loss. At least he's got his team in a fourth and about 7 yards to go.
Well, they just converted on a 4th down. Cinco Ranch will try to do it again. 4th and 7. Again from the 18-yard line. Snap will go to Zach Myers. Looking for Tyler Halen. Not going to happen, though. The interception by Terrence Frederick. And another big defensive stop for the Katy Tigers, Jake.
Well, offensive coordinator John Edwards trying to get the ISO one-on-one that he liked, but Terrence Frederick coming in today's ball game with 3 interceptions on the season, goes up and gets his 4th. That was excellent coverage. How about the drive, though, by Cinco Ranch, taking up over 7 minutes of clock, Randy, going into the win. They did what they needed to do from that standpoint, just unable to put points on the board.
17 plays, 7:43 off the clock, and you come up empty. That's just a gut wrencher right there if you're on the Cinco Ranch side.
Well, it is, but it's something that you're going to have to learn to build off of, knowing that you had that much success against a very good, very aggressive defense. But now that you've gotten down there, you've got to teach this young team how to get the ball across the end line.
Jared Bouts there with the stop for Cinco Ranch on Andre Dean. Let's take a look at some of the possessions now for Katy. That is what you call pretty good production right there, Shane.
Well, it is great production. We talk about that first touchdown scoring drive, 4 minutes, 32 seconds. The next one, 4:25. And then it goes down from there where they finished up on this last touchdown. Only took them about 8 seconds to get it into the end zone. So they're hitting on all cylinders.
Second down at 13. Loss of 3 on that last play when they stopped Dean. It'll be Dean again, tripped up down to the 20-yard line. Jared Bouch again with the stop for Cinco Ranch. 2 plays, 2 tackles for him, both on Andre Dean. Parker Ray also checking in. He's the backup quarterback. He'll check in as receiver as Bo Levi Mitchell still runs his offense. Mitchell looking for receiver downfield. He'll throw it away here. Good pressure by John Joffrey. Also, Jared Bouch again for Cinco Ranch. Smart move there by Bo Levi Mitchell to throw that football away.
It was, but that was very well-disciplined defense by Cinco Ranch to not allow the naked boot coming back because Levi Mitchell was rolling out to his left looking for a defender, or excuse me, for a receiver, but the defenders had him all locked up. He bounces it back out to his right trying to make a play happen, but 2 Cinco Ranch defenders get in the way and force the throw out of bounds and the oncoming punt.
First punt of the day for Katy. Ryan Gore with the honors. He'll take the snap at the 5-yard line. Kick it away. Will Morris back for Cinco Ranch. He'll field it at the 34-yard line. Crossing the 45, near the 50-yard line before he's brought down. So Cinco Ranch will have pretty good field position here. They start their second drive of the ball game. Again, that first one nearly ate up 8 minutes of clock time. 48-yard punt there for Ryan Dorr. 15 yards on the return for Will Morris. You know, we talk a lot about Don Clayton. Grew up in Southeast Texas and had a pretty good career at Wyoming. And we found this somewhere in the archives.
Ooh, back in the archives. How about the arm? Throwing the football here, and you see him kind of running that little veer option, but looking all downfield, trying to find his open receivers, and I like this one the most, and I'm sure he will as well. Taking it in for the touchdown, and you know, one of the things he told us was the older I get, the better I was, and you can see right there he had a solid college career, honorable mention All-America there at Wyoming.
Nice job getting some of that old video, getting his career, late 1970s.
Yeah, that's a little grainy
Wyoming
video, though. You know,
just a little bit, not as crisp as it is these days. But so Cinco Ranch on the 42-yard line after pickup of 9. Jeff Oliver trying to battle his way to the 40. He will not get there. Trent Hunter with the tackle there for Katy, along with some help from Cameron Strickler. And they'll call it no gain on that one, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 1 now. Here's Oliver trying to battle his way to that extra yardage. Couldn't get it.
Well, that's man up right there by Trent Hunter. His big head hunting free safety, and come in. Jeff Oliver tried to lower the shoulder and run right over the top, but it was a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, and Hunter able to push Oliver out of bounds, making it 3rd and 1. Great open field tackle right there by Trent Hunter.
Oliver and Hurts in the backfield for the Cougars. Shotgun there for Zach Myers. Fakes a handoff to Hurts. He'll keep it. Trying to get to that 39-yard line. Strickler makes the tackle. And that's going to be awfully close there for that first down.
Well, Patrick Benson gets in around the legs, and Cameron Strickler comes in over the top to finish off Zach Myers, and he's not going to have enough for the first down. Very aggressive Katy defense, and you see coming through. 4 or 5 red hats, red shirts around the football.
Again, no gain. They need about a half yard to keep this drive going. 4th and inches now from the 42-yard line. Myers with the handoff right there. Looks like they will have enough for the first down.
Look at that offensive line for Cinco Ranch. An A on that play. Richard Glover, Matt Stewart, and Michael Schraub getting a good push from that center and guard position, allowing Hurts enough of a lane to pick up the first down.
Hurts and Oliver got a big workload today, as expected. Hurts only a junior, as you mentioned, Shay. It's a great experience this year. Pretty good numbers, averaging a little over 5 yards a carry. He'll get the majority of those carries, I have a feeling, next year. Into the third quarter here at Road Stadium in Katy. It has been all Tigers, 35-3 over Cinco Ranch. 35-3, Katy leading Cinco Ranch as you see the sights and sounds from the afternoon here at Road Stadium in Katy in our Dodge High School game of the week. We start the 4th quarter now. Cinco Ranch on the 39-yard line as they get that first down to end the 3rd quarter. Zach Myers, big time pressure. That's Cameron Strickler with the big hit. The ball is loose. And it looks like the Katy Tigers have jumped on it. Zach Myers took a major lick, Shay, from Cameron Strickler as he had that blitz from that left side.
Well, Strickler coming in does not bite on the play fake. He's drawn a beeline, and he's got one goal in mind. I'm going to go where the quarterback is. Never takes his eyes off, and you got Zach Taylor looking out to his left. Does not locate Strickler coming in, and as you said, he takes a major shot, turns the football over. Got Katy back on offense, but that's what you like your linebackers to do. Draw a line, don't bite off on any fake. You know what the play's called. We're going to get the quarterback.
Great speed by Strickler on that play. Quick pursuit. Zach Myers had no reaction time at all. Took that hit, fumbled the football. Katy takes over again at the 42. Quickly hand off to Andre Dean. Will Morris with the stop there for Cinco Ranch.
We've called Will Morris's name a number of times and seen him come up and make some very good one-on-one tackles at the line of scrimmage. And I won't call them devastating hits, but I'll call them extremely effective. He's coming up and he's got Andre Dean running downhill at him with nobody behind him. He comes up and is making some pretty sure tackles there near the line of scrimmage.
Give Dean 1 yard on that last tote. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Again, the hand goes to Dean. Greg Freeman with the stop there for Cinco Ranch. So he's tripped up. They'll mark that at the 46-yard line. Take a look at the Taco Bell game summary. Taco Bell think outside the bun. They're the numbers there from Andre Dean. 119 yards, Shay, 1 touchdown today.
Well, notches his 10th rushing touchdown. We talk about Andre Dean missed a game and a half this season with a hand injury, but Oliver kind of showing up doing his things, but the the turnovers by that Katy defense. Really making a big difference in the game.
And they take advantage most of the time when they get those turnovers. They turn them into points. 35 on the day so far. Coming in, averaging over 40 a game. Good fall start coming up. James Lawrence. We'll bump it back. Katy will get another shot at it. Again, great crowd today here at Road Stadium. Holds just over 10,000. Katy's side was full. Cinco Ranch side nearly full when this game started. Lots of fans in the west grass area, just beyond the end zone. Great vantage point to watch some football and just a picturesque day here in the greater Houston area. Watching the top-ranked Katy Mustangs and the Cinco Ranch group. Bo Levi Mitchell brought down. Trey Bonner. Bob De Leonardis with the stop right there. So good defensive stand from Cinco Ranch.
Well, no give up in De Leonardis. He comes up and you see he's just not going to quit on the play. He gets blocked at the front, but he's got enough push and pressure up front to make Bo Levi Mitchell try to scramble. And as he's looking downfield to locate a receiver, Bob De Leonardis comes over, makes a stop, forces a punt.
So Katy will punt it away for only the second time all day. Will Morris back to receive at the 25-yard line of the Cougars. Brian Dorr with the punt. Will Morris will let it bounce, and Katy will mark it down there. That is Terrence Frederick. 37-yard punt there by Ryan Dorr. So Cinco Ranch takes over, down 32 points. The Dodge High School Game of the Week on FSN is brought to you by State Farm. For young driver discounts up to 40%, see a Texas State Farm agent. All right, we're back. 9:27 left in the fourth quarter here. Sort 35-3 at Cinco Ranch. First and 10 from the 19-yard line. Zach Myers still in there at quarterback. Jeff Oliver in the backfield for the Cougars. And he'll get the handoff. Crosses down to the 30-yard line. Blake Adler in there on the stop for Katy. Pickup of 6 yards. Brings up second down and 4 now for Cinco. Zach Myers on the afternoon for Cinco Ranch. Young sophomore quarterback, 6 for 10. Only 44 yards. He has that one interception. He doesn't throw the football a lot. They rely on that running game. He'll throw it right here, though, to TJ Cardone. Cardone fights his way to the 40-yard line. Quick dump off from Myers to Cardone. Andrew Harrell on the stop there for Katy. And that's where they'll mark it at the 40-yard line. They'll move the chains. First down coming up for Cinco Ranch.
When TJ Cardone hobbling off the field there as he was trying to battle for extra yards. Looks like he got rolled up a little bit on the legs, but that was probably one of the first plays that we've seen where Zach Myers has done a good job of coming in and throwing the football on rhythm. Hit Cardone in stride.
He's got the wind in his favor now, moving east to west here at Road Stadium. That's got to help a little bit. Big hole for Jeff Oliver. Inside Katy territory. Terrence Henry with the stop, but plenty of open space there in the middle of the field on that handoff to Jeff Oliver. 21-yard pickup for the senior running back.
Well, the big guy is doing a nice job up front creating a seam for Jeff Oliver, and he comes into today's game as the third leading rusher in District 18-5A. So he's Andre Dean is the second leading rusher we've seen and talked about him a lot today, but Jeff Oliver making a little bit of noise himself.
Yeah, came in with 692 yards so far this season, averaging over 7 yards a carry. Big yardage right there. Again, 21-yard pickup. 40-yard line of Katy, first and 10. Zach Myers out to Tyler Mack. Good coverage there by Trent Hunter, though, and shoves him back. They'll make the reception at the 36-yard line after that completion. Let's go down the field, check in with Patty Smith.
Well, thank you, Randy. You know, earlier this week, the Houston Touchdown Club announced its finalists for the Scholar Athlete Award, and we are fortunate enough to have two of the kids playing in the game today. On the Cinco Ranch side, we've got TJ Cardone, and for Katy, we have Patrick Reeves. And let's start with Patrick's parents. Talk about just what an honor it is to have your son receive this nomination.
We are so excited. He is a great kid, and we love him, and he really works hard. Football is important. School is really important, so we're tickled that he's been honored like this.
Well, now, and over here on this side, the Cardones, this isn't your first rodeo. This is your second son to have received this award. I mean, what do you got? You're doing something right? Is it something in the water? Do I need to take parental tips from you? What's going on here?
Well, the academics over there are just, in KISD in particular, are just phenomenal. And the kids have to work really hard to get to this point. And then they do it on the football field as well, so we're real proud of them.
Well, two kids to be proud of and two sets of parents to be proud of. Also, these guys, they've been standing down here for about 5 or 10 minutes, nicely talking to each other, no animosity. So really good people out here. And Randy, I'm going to toss it back up to you, but I just want you to know 25 finalists were selected for this award. They will be announcing the winners on November 7th at the JW Marriott.
All right, Patty, job well done. Great job by the parents as well. Thanks for hanging out with us. And on that play, you saw the interception. Zach Myers looking for his receiver, but instead he finds Terrence Frederick right here, Shay, and another Cinco Ranch turnover.
Well, Terrence Frederick plays the ball perfectly, see it with his eyes, and you like the way Randy's a defensive back. We saw him do it in the first half, go up and take that interception away. He's got his second interception of the ball game today, and really coming in with 3. He's already got 2. He's up to 5 interceptions for the season.
5 turnovers on the day for Cinco Ranch. Katy takes over up 35-3. The Dodge High School Game of the Week on FSN has been brought to you by Dodge, your Texas truck stop. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Diet Pepsi Max, it's cola invigorated. Wake up, people. And by Memorial Hermann, the official healthcare provider for Katy ISD Athletics. Memorial Hermann, breakthroughs every day. First and 10 now, Katy takes over, 15-yard line. Under 7 minutes to go here in the ball game. Katy up 35-3. Andre Dean with the carry, but Will Morris with the stop there for Cinco Ranch, along with Jared Bouch.
That's what you call a splat tackle. Take a listen here as Andre Dean comes around the corner. Will Morris sticking the hat right on top of it, right between the 3 and the O.
That is the way you do it. Will Morris, we've called his name quite a bit today. He has made an impact for the Cinco Ranch defense, flying to the ball most of the day here.
Well, they had a safety last year named Matt Harris, who was just in that same mold. He was a real physical safety. He'd love to put a hat on you.
Second down and 2 now. Give to Andre Dean again. Gets tripped up, crosses the 30-yard line. Gave Ratcliffe the final lick on Andre Dean. Andre Dean with a big day, well over 100 yards today. Came in with 895, so he has crossed the 1,000-yard plateau for the 2007 season. And as you mentioned, he's still minus a game and a half. He's already missed this season, but he's got plenty of football ahead of him, I have a feeling. Regular season and playoff run this year.
Yeah, and keep in mind that he did run for over 2,000 yards as a junior.
Dean again, major hole. Cuts it outside, crossing the 50. 30. 20. Finally knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Big time run for Andre Dean. Andrew Guidry with the final push. That's a 57-yard pickup for Andre Dean.
No, right on cue, following that devastating blocking of the right side of the offensive line, and in the vision by Andre Dean to bounce it out. He sees Will Morris in his line of sight and going to take away the run to the right. Boom, pops it right back over to the left side and stretches it out for a long gain.
Andre Dean will pop out, get a breather. Parker Ray checks in for Katy. Parker Ray coming in. It looks like he may take over at quarterback. for the first time in the ballgame, and he will. Parker Ray, the junior for Katy. By the way, Andre Dean, 25 carries, Shea, 192 yards. Big day for the Katy senior. So Parker Ray in for Bo Levi Mitchell. As the Tigers threaten again, we've got a flag down. A good chance for Parker Ray to get some experience. Doesn't see a lot of playing time. He's only 3 of 5 passing all season long. Of course, when you got Bo Levi Mitchell in front of you, you don't get to play a lot.
Well, and you think about the effectiveness, too, Randy, of the Katy offense and how well that they execute their offense. Bo Levi Mitchell comes into today's game completing 57% of his passes. And we were talking to the coaches and said, you know what, last year he had a little bit better success throwing the football, but he's kind of come into this season trying to make the perfect play. We've got him out of that mindset now, and you can see starting to reap the benefits of that decision making. He's 8 for 11, 151 yards with 4 touchdowns in today's ball game, and really he's kind of started since about 2 or 3 games ago, kind of getting more in that mode where he's more consistent, and is certainly helping in this Katy offense.
Lots of lineup changes here for Katy. Checking in, that is Seth Chisholm, a senior running back. Also in the lineup right now, senior wide receiver number 2, Jordan Boudreaux. Several changes on that offensive line as well, as Gary Joseph tries to get some of these underclassmen and seniors that don't get a lot of playing time, get them some experience here.
When you're averaging 42 points a game and about, well, quite a bit over 400 yards of offense, it's good to get some of these younger guys in and get them some game experience.
Hayden Munsell also in the late lineup for the Katy Tigers. And Munsell gets the pitch right there, but he's tripped up at the 11-yard line by Andrew McAteer.
We'll go with McAteer.
Sounds better.
Hey, he makes a play like that. How about it coming over the top of the block? And that's just kind of one of those yard sale type plays, Randy. You see, look, he's rolling around. He got knocked down on the ground, but he rolls over, and he's just never giving up on the play. He throws his arms, his legs, whatever it takes to bring the runner down. Good hustle right there.
It was. Good play there. Also want to mention number 8, Tyler Zimmerman. He's checked in as well. Seth Chisholm in the backfield. Parker Ray on the rollout. He's looking for his receiver. That is going to be John Taylor. Yeah, John Taylor makes the reception inside the 5-yard line. Down to the 4 of Cinco Ranch. Inside 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, multiple lineup changes now. A new set of players checking in right now for Katy. 4th and 2 coming up.
Bringing on the field goal team.
Try to kick it here, get some more points. Balbena again with the field goal attempt. They will mark it at the 11-yard line. The 21-yard attempt. That chip shot is up and good for Balbena. Another field goal. 3 more points for the Katy Tigers as they increase their lead to 35 now, leading Cinco Ranch 38-3 with 3:50 left in this football game at Road State.
Randy, it's been a textbook day for the Katy Tigers. They've taken the ball away on defense. Offensively, they've fixed the run and the passing game up extremely well. And we talk about it being an all too unfamiliar place for these guys, but, you know, having the lead late in the fourth quarter.
7-play, 82-yard drive, 2:51 off the clock for Katy. Let's go down to the field, check in with Patty Smith.
All right, thank you, Randy. You know, I've been to a lot of high school football games, but I can honestly say never have I been to a game where both bands were more involved than they are here today, and in large part because of Mike Olette, who is the band director here at Cinco Ranch. But what I want to talk about is Jill Hagan has had an idea. It was called Pause Out for Mountain View Lobo Band. It was a brainchild of hers, and I want you to go ahead and explain what that is and what you guys did.
Okay, last weekend we had a marching festival that encompassed all the Katy bands, and we all performed our marching show, and at the gates we accepted donations for the Mountain View Lobo Band.
Which is?
It's in El Paso. It's a band that's struggling with money, and they don't have very good instruments, so.
And Mike, tell us how that went, what you managed to raise, and what's going to happen next.
It was awesome. All 6 bands from Katy got together and did the event and took donations, and we collected for about 2 weeks. We got over 90 instruments and over $20,000, and hopefully in the next week or two we're going to travel over to El Paso and deliver those to the Mountain View Band.
And what's really cool about that is not only was it just your band, but it was all 6 Katy schools.
Bands, yeah, it was all 6 bands, and it was really neat. We got to see each other, and we usually don't get to see the other bands in competition, so it was a lot of fun.
So not only, Randy, is there competition down there on the field, also competition among the bands, but when they come together, great things can happen. Let's go back to you.
And a great cause there, Patty. Great job landing that interview, and kudos goes out to the Cinco Ranch marching band and the job the band director and that young lady have done to raise money and raise awareness. A major need out in El Paso, and they're going to meet it.
Well, you think about it, and what a tremendous story that you hear about, and that's what makes high school athletics such a great thing, because, you know, otherwise most people would not have known about the trials and tribulations going on out in El Paso with that band, with not having the right instruments or newer instruments or whatever. And it's just tremendous that people think enough to look forward to that, and then you get the whole school district in complimenting that and helping that effort.
All right, Cinco Ranch, after that nice return from T.J. Cardone, takes over at the 37-yard line. That was a 30-yard kickoff return, by the way, by T.J. Cardone. Under 3.5 to go here, fourth quarter.
And T.J. is one of those guys we're talking about with that Houston Scholastic Athlete honor, and he averages 24 yards on kickoff returns and did a nice job of getting out near the 40-yard line on that one.
He did. Second and 7 now. Handoff. Nathan Bruno with the stop there for Katy. Again, Gary Joseph and staff at Katy mixing the lineups now, getting some of the underclassmen and the seniors some playing time that normally don't get out on the field. Bruno, one of the seniors, one of the many seniors on this Katy football team. Third down and 3 now. They'll mark it at the 44. They need to get to the 47. Myers on the keep. Turns the corner, crosses the 50, down to the 40. 35 inside there, down to the 33-yard line. Nice yardage there on that keeper from Zach Myers before he's brought down by Torrey Brown of Katy. 19-yard pickup.
That's another time when we see Zach Myers taking the ball in his own hands off that zone read, and he bounces that a little bit wider than you would think, and he's able to outrun Torrey Brown at the point of attack and take it down for the first down. Brown in the trailing position is able to use the sideline a little bit to kind of collar him, but Zach Myers picking up a big first down.
Coming up after this ball game, stay tuned here on FSN for the Academy post-game show. Again, right after this ball game, we'll break it down for you in the Road Stadium. Academy post-game show coming up here momentarily on FSN. Under 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Katy Tigers in control of this football game. They will go to 8-0 on this season with Alif Elsick next in line. Maid Creek will close out the regular season. Here's Oliver with the carry. More yardage there, and he's had a good day. That's his 16th carry. He'll cross the 120-yard plateau with that tote. Jeff Oliver, big day, senior for the Cougars.
They're doing a nice job on the last 2 plays of really picking up some big yards and tough running right now by Jeff Oliver. Low on those shoulders, trying to get extra yards.
Oliver had 692 yards coming into this football game, so he's well over 800 now for the season. Been one of the top rushers in District 18 5A as he battles his way down to the 15, maybe I think they'll mark it there at the 14-yard line. So Cinco Ranch coming in 3-1 in district play. They'll fall to 3-2. Still very much in this playoff picture in this district race. Adam Hirsch with that carry. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Under a minute to go now. Clock stopped with 52 seconds left.
No quitting the Cinco Ranch team. They're looking for something head coach Don Clayton and John Edwards, offensive coordinator. Something to build on. You've got a couple of games left. You're going to make sure that you're getting all the reps and all the snaps that you can, and every one of these counting. Like we've been talking about, this is a very young Cinco Ranch team, so opportunity for those guys to gain some valuable experience.
Fake to Hurts, and Zach Myers keeps, and he will find the end zone for the first time all afternoon. 5-yard quarterback keeper for Cinco Ranch, and they strike late in this football game.
It's the ever-popular zone read play that we see almost every team at the high school level, college level. Everybody's running it now.
Vince Young made a living of that at University of Texas when he was there, didn't he?
It was around before Vince, but he certainly made it more popular. No doubt about it.
7-play drive, 63 yards, 2:59 off the clock for Cinco Ranch.
Bobble snap there, yep.
Bobble snap. Katy's going to recover. Trent Hunter jumps on it for the Tigers. So the extra point fails. 38-9. Here's another look at that touchdown, Chip.
Well, Zach Myers did a good job, and you like the early decisions. He got a nice block there at the point of attack on the outside by one of his running backs there, and he's able to step it up inside, takes it in for the easy touchdown.
This week, College Football Saturday returns with a triple header, beginning with the College Football Saturday Kickoff Show presented by Kyocera. And then 12th-ranked USC takes on 5th-ranked Oregon in a key showdown for both teams' national title hopes. Then UCLA battles Washington State. And finally, 21st-ranked Cal takes on 4th-ranked Arizona State in another game with huge BCS implications. It all begins right after this game in high definition, right here on FSN. Speaking of which, look at those Pac-10 standings right now. How about Arizona State, 7-0 this season?
Well, that's impressive, but you go back to that UCLA-Washington State matchup. UCLA has not beaten Washington State in a number of years. And you're talking about the guys at the top of the conference tied and the guys at the bottom, but Washington State, for the last 4 or 5 years, has had UCLA's number.
Those are all BCS rankings, by the way, next to Arizona State, Southern Cal, Oregon, and Cal. I mean, what a job the Pac-10. A lot of people a few years ago wrote off the Pac-10, and now they have really risen.
Back.
They are back. There's no doubt about that.
Well, USC obviously is the team of note in the Pac-10, as we've seen them playing for the national championship over the last couple of years, winning one of those, or two of those, excuse me. But coming back in now, that depth in the Pac-10, as you said, Randy, it's back to where it was before.
Had that little hiccup against Stanford, but Cal has bounced back. Very much alive in that BCS situation, as are several others there for the Pac-10. Trent Hunter with the return there for Katy. Again, 40 seconds left, just a matter of running this clock out. Katy has thrown only 2 passes the entire second half. They've stuck with that ground game and ridden the legs of Andre Dean. What a day he has had for the Katy Tigers.
Well, it's been a very dominant day for the Katy run game, but it's very typical of what you see from these Katy Tigers, Randy, is they know that they can run the football. They know that they're going to run the football, yet they still line up and play smash-mouth football.
They just dare you to stop.
Absolutely, and they'll run it. And then when they get that running game going with succession and some success, look out for the over-the-top for the play-action pass, and they've executed both facets of that game wonderfully today.
Marker Ray hands to Hayden Munsell. Munsell, another senior here for the Katy Tigers. Inside 30 seconds to go now. Katy will improve to 8-0. Cinco Ranch 4-4 on the season, but still 3-2 in the district race. And again, 4 teams advance. So Cinco Ranch and Katy with a couple of weeks left. Hope to be moving on. Katy certainly will.
And Cinco Ranch last year, going into the quarterfinals, lost in a heartbreaker double overtime to Pearland.
And an excellent Pearland.
You bet.
Fozzie Whitaker and company. Fozzie Whitaker, of course, the running back, went on to the University of Texas, but a learning experience, to say the least, probably for this young Cinco Ranch team. They need ball games like this. Don Clayton knows that his players will grow up in ball games like this, despite the outcome on the scoreboard.
So that's something that a good coach and a good staff will make sure they do. You'll pick up the positives. That's what they'll do. And they know they're on a little bit of a learning curve with the young team right now, but looking for something to build on. And I guarantee you they'll come back with the positives out of this ball game and making sure that their kids and their players understand what this game means and how to grow from it.
Both teams shaking hands. Big send-off for the fans this afternoon. 38-9, the final here in our Dodge High School Game of the Week from Road Stadium at Katy. Coming up, the Academy postgame show on FSN.